surprise. I decided to come out and join Mike tonight. If you don't recognize me, I'm Casey. I'm the one who's normally answering you on the chat. So, hello everybody. We are here at the DeButts yard, Norfolk Southern's second largest classification yard here in Chattanooga, Tennessee. The scanner keeps making the beeps. We are right outside the fuel rack, and that's what this is waiting on right here. There are actually 3 locomotives hooked together, and they're in line to go to the fuel rack. But I guess they're waiting for clearance, because once they get beyond this sign that's just out of your view right here, they have to notify the fuel rack supervisor and get clearance to proceed, blah, blah, blah. So we're right by that sign. Also, I hear something else running right behind me.
Far side, and going left to right.
Yeah, on the far side, there's one. Mike says going left to right. So as soon as these guys move, we'll have a great angle. If they don't end up moving here in a minute, we thought it'd be cool for them to move right here, and then we got a great spot. If they don't move, we'll end up relocating a little further away so we don't have to yell over the sounds of this engine. But there are worse things to have to yell over. There are a couple of units that have been doing some switching duty. They've got 2 guys on the front of them. They've been running back and forth. You'll see them come by momentarily. Not exactly sure what they're doing, because we thought they were also going to switch over to the fuel rack or start building a train, but they didn't do either one. They went further down and just switched to another track and carried on. So I think there is work going on further down here. I'll give you a shot of what we're looking at momentarily, and then give you a good pan of these trains real quick. So these are locomotives. So here's what we're looking at right here. Got the 4144 down at the end. That's that one there. Then the 7600, which if you saw my post on Instagram, the @rail moments, that's the one that says it's under warranty. Don't even know what that means. Maybe one of y'all can help us out. And then there's the 4624. Oh, here we go. Coming in. It's on the pass-through track for NS, so he's going to roll by. I can't see what the number was on the lead engine, but it started with a 4. So he's about to come by. We will, it will be hidden behind this one here. It's an intermodal. I'll spin back if there's a DPU, but I'm going to keep going down. We're at the entry to the DeButts yard here. And that right there is the sign to notify the fuel rack supervisor. Okay, somebody just said they were cleared. I believe that may be the fuel rack clearance. We will see. If so, that would be cool. But another event, a lot of action going on down here. And as you can see, that intermodal is still going by out in the distance there. No DPU or anything yet. Looks like just a bunch of empty gondolas and hoppers. Getting the kisses from the scanner there again. I laughed out loud when Mike said that on Tuesday night. Thought it was a perfect description, because that's what it sounds like. Sounds like somebody giving a baby kisses. Or a dog, maybe. But anyway, that's what we're doing here in Chattanooga, Tennessee tonight. We are watching that big fella get ready to proceed forward. And Mike is here. Mike is over there running around doing Mike stuff. He's laughing at me. Mike has a menagerie of equipment he sets up to do a live. You would be surprised. Cody says he thinks 4004 is in the fuel racks. How you know that, I have no idea, but thank you. How do you know that? That's crazy. I'm here and I don't even know that. Oh, you know what? I do see something in the fuel racks. Mike, can I borrow your binoculars?
Edmund may have it posted on. Edmund may have it posted on.
Here comes a PTI van. We're right where they enter the yard when they're coming downtown past historic Ingle Baseball Stadium and UTC soccer fields, which right now is populated by, looks like 4 women's soccer teams out practicing. Oh yeah, I see. Edmund, the PTI driver that just drove by us. Thank you, Edmund. in his Chrysler Pacifica minivan, he posted it's in the fuel rack. So thank you. That's it. That's 4004 down there.
Pear Marquette is not going to come through here. It's going to go down south.
Okay, so the Perry Marquette is not going to come through here. It's going to come through south.
It's going to go down through. It's going to go south of Decatur and across.
South of Decatur and across, Mike says. You can probably hear him, but just in case. Hey, Real American Rail fan. What's up, Matthew? Tony says, hi, Mike.
Hey, Tony, how's it going?
I know you can hear that. If it sounds like we're yelling, we are, because that is running, and that is very loud. We are right next to it. Matter of fact, we moved away a few feet. We were set up right against this fence, so we wouldn't get the ugly fence in the background. But there we are.
Hey guys, how's everybody? Tony. Not sure if you had a chance to look who all's on yet. How's everybody up in Cowan? Tony, it's time for you to send something down to us. CSX line for the pass-through from Lahatchie is over there on the far side. So you send it down, we're going to see it. Cody, good to have you on. Real American Rail fan, hey, it's good to see all you guys tonight. Hey, what'd y'all think of Tuesday? Was that just not awesome? You guys caught the Spirit of Cincinnati, reported him coming down. We got to catch our other heritage going north. So it was really, really a great, great night on Tuesday. Sorry I left 2 on base, but come 12:15, that early morning is tough on me. So we did leave 1 on each direction on base. I'm sorry, but hey, we had a great, great time in between.
And I just managed to do some diopter adjustment because my eyes are not the same as Mike's, and that one is 4004 sitting down there. So I guess we'll have to wait for him to clear for these to go by, but that's okay. Thank you, Mike, for the loan of the binoculars here. One thing that doesn't show up very well on YouTube, if you've noticed, I'm a normal sized human, and Mike is 6'3", and then he has the hat and his shoes. So you can't tell that Mike is very tall on camera. When I'm standing next to him, I feel short, and I promise I'm regulation size. I'm like 5'10", 5'11", somewhere in that neighborhood. Mike is not.
And Mike's in the hole.
Mike is in the hole. See, I can even cheat and get away with it.
Yep, we can be almost the same size tonight.
I tried to switch with him at Coffee's Cliff. I made him stand on a low spot and me on a rock, and it still wasn't equal, so I just gave up. I'm used to being in the bottom of the camera. Mike takes the tripod, puts it all the way up, and then cranks it up to the max, and it's eye level for him. And it's like looking down at me.
So, anybody seen anything exciting today?
Okay, Tony says, everything good, but it's been slow. Matthew, what is my favorite catch? That goes without any hesitation. 8099, the Southern. Because here we are. This is actually Southern's original yard. And this place, when it was redone as the DeButts yard, they actually closed it for a few years. They stopped doing classification here. They took down the hump and I can't remember what they call them, but the speed regulators that they had that would slow down the cars. They took all that out. And they did that for, what, 10 years, I think, Mike? And it was just dead here. And I had forgotten about that because those were some tough, tough years to spot any trains. But when we were talking to Scott Coffey of Coffee's Cliff, he was talking about it and reminded me. But then they recommissioned it, fortunately, and it's active again. But it's still, this matters a lot to us because it is the historic Southern Railway Yard. I love the Southern, and I grew up seeing the Southern trains here in Chattanooga. Right behind me, you can see it sticking up, is Erlanger Hospital, where my father worked for like 30 years. And I grew up hanging around that hospital, watching games here at Ingalls Stadium, which is where a lot of really famous players played at some point in the minor leagues, and it's now closed. There's been
what's his name? The guy that started there.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. Bear with me a second, I'll think of his name. I like baseball, so I usually keep up with this.
Was it Willie Mays?
It was Willie Mays. Thank you. Willie Mays, who just died. If you've seen any sports news, Willie Mays actually played in his very first summer. He played at that stadium right over here, just right to the side of us, right past the nose of the truck. That stadium is still there. It's been donated to the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga, what we call UTC. So it is not the operating stadium for our team anymore, the Lookouts. The Lookouts have moved to another stadium called AT&T Field, which is over by the highway. And yesterday they broke ground on their new one, so this will actually be 2 stadiums removed from it. But I remember going to games there as a child, and it's very historic for me. There's the yard, there's the hospital where my dad worked, where you can see the helicopters land, all those things. So it's been very cool. I like being back in my spot. Tony says Perry Marquette is on I-025, so it's going through Decatur. Thank you, Tony.
Decatur and south.
Cody saw the MRL 4316 yesterday. Matthew says the Virginian is also there. Matthew, do you mean... Oh, CSX coming in. Hold on. It's going to be way out of range, but look at this. He's going on the bypass track, but he seems to be on the NS bypass track.
No, he's on CSX.
Oh, he is on CSX. Okay. Oh, so that one crosses over by Coffee's Cliff at 23rd Street. Okay.
At 23rd, it goes to that side.
Well, you live and you learn, and I'm learning. This is not my normal spot. Normally when I come hang out with Mike, back in the day I'd be over by the Wilcox Bridge. Then I discovered Coffee's Cliff with Mike, and that's where we hang out now. Let's see. The WM emblem loco, that's cool. He says 1069, he thinks of the fuel racks. Let's see. Yeah, I didn't realize the Virginia was still here. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, the WM loco. I noticed on the WNA group, if you guys aren't in that group on Facebook, it's good. There's a WNA subdivision Facebook group, and it's pretty helpful if you're trying to spot CSX stuff. There was a guy today who got like this spy photography shot with a telephoto through the trees, and the one that you were looking at the other day, Cody, having a moment, I can't remember, and then S-Track is rolling by and Mike's waving at him because Mike waves at everyone.
And he waved back.
He did wave back. That's to his credit, he waved back. But anyway, the one that you were looking for the other day, that was an emblem car where it was scraped off. They did confirm both sides are scraped off, sadly, so I'm hoping they repaint that one.
What they scraped off?
Cody, I'm old. Help me. What was the one where you checked and the logo was scraped off and you made the Photoshop with the logo being back on like it should be? I keep looking at this because the chat is on this one, so I'm watching that. If you see me look to the side, I'm trying to read your comments. He says,
He's getting old like me and he's confused which camera. That's the problem.
I do get confused on which camera.
That's all right. I forget everything, so we're good.
Hey, Mike put up an umbrella because I got sunburned yesterday. I was doing some motorcycle stuff for work, and I got sunburned, and he helpfully put up an umbrella. He said it was for the camera, but I know Mike. He put it up for me so I wouldn't get further sunburned, so thank you. Weston, what's up, man? How's it going?
Hey, Weston, good to have you back.
I know you can hear him. Weston, if you're wondering why are we yelling, that one is running, and it's hooked to 2 more behind it. They're waiting to go into the fuel racks over here, and we are very grateful for that because then we can stop screaming at the phone. Oh yeah, 3010.
33 West Wing middle pullback, line up the middle.
He's so noisy we can't even hear the scanner.
Yeah, we can't hear the scanner. Hopefully you can. If we miss something important, please tell us. The scanner is right underneath the camera, so we're hoping you can hear it. I may actually move it up. Mike, is there a way to clip it to higher on the bracket where maybe they can hear it?
To get it to face upward, no.
Okay, gotcha.
You can tape it here, but then it goes that way.
Let me see if I can put it on this thing. Because it's got a little thingy thing on it.
Sorry for all the earthquakes that Casey yells at me for doing,
If I get to do them, there's no problem.
but it's okay when he does them.
Hey, here's a little thing you guys wouldn't know. I actually wear a different hat in every video. It's a silly thing, but I've been doing it for a long time to see if Mike would notice. He didn't catch on, so eventually I fessed up. So today, speaking of the Lookouts, this is their alternate logo. This is the Chattanooga Wreckers, because Chattanooga is the home of Holmes Wrecker Service, the inventor of automobile wreckers. It started here. We have the Towing and Recovery Museum, et cetera, et cetera. But But the Lookout's alternate logo, an alternate name, is Chattanooga Records, and this is a Records baseball hat. Jonathan C., what's up, man? Hello for New York. Hope you're doing well.
Hey, Jonathan, where have you been all week? We left messages on every video since I saw you last.
He wasn't paying attention because I know you were on Tuesday night, and I replied to you. But Mike was 8 trains deep. Mike was 8 trains deep, and he wasn't paying attention. But I saw you. And if you haven't met me, I'm Casey. I'm the one who normally answers as Rail Moments. And normally, if you guys message Mike as Rail Moments, it's usually me, and I just tell Mike because I talk to Mike constantly throughout the day. Cody, I do not know if the CN is still here. We're at the what? We're at the southwest, west end. The west end. Well, southwest if you're looking at it from north up. The west end.
Short of 23rd Street.
Okay, so 23rd Street, where we always talk about where CSX has to wait to cross the NS tracks, that's right down there about half a mile, that direction. And that's what those 2 CSX logos you saw coming by, they've had to wait there at that intersection. But then Citico is what? A mile? 2 miles. So Citico's 2 miles that way. So East 23rd that way, half a mile, 2 or 3 miles that way, the other end of the yard, and starting around the curve is Citico. Tony, I promise it's on the agenda. Tony is wondering when we're ever going to show up to Cowan. We will. It's me that's the holdup. We're going to do a podcast with you guys. We're very excited to talk about everything that's going on at Cowan. And Mike loves watching that camera. It's a beautiful shot. It's a beautiful area. And I will go. I love Cowan because back in the early days, I used to take my Jeep on that abandoned rail grade. I think I actually took Mike. I took you with me once.
But we were going to go again.
Okay. I got to take him at some point. Anyway, there's an abandoned rail grade that goes from Cowan to Winchester. And it's really, really cool. They used to do some kind of a mining train. I'm not exactly sure what it was. But the tracks are taken out. It's all abandoned. But the grades are there. There's still bank turns and everything. It's really cool. And I would take my Jeep up there. What's up, Matthew?
Hey, Tony, while you have him, as I've been telling you, you got to work on him because I'm ready to go. I just got to get a date that I can get Casey to go.
He did. He said he's going to.
Work on him hard.
He did say he's going to drag me. The CN. So he's asking if the CN is at Wauhatchie. Where is it? We don't know. I haven't seen a report on it. I don't think I've seen anything since it actually came to town. We knew it was here, and one of our friends sent a picture of it. Where it is now, I have no idea. Nobody seems to know. So if you hear anything in the grapevine, let us know.
You can let Cody and Matthew both go and Greater American Rail Band.
Step up and yell.
I know you guys have been after us, Real American Rail Fan, Cody, Matthew. We did make contact with Ringgold on the options, or if they would consider letting us do a rail cam on the depot. Now, I just sent it out today, actually this afternoon before I left the office. So we have started the process on trying to, 1, get a camera, get them to host the camera, and 2, to trim all the weeds back on the 2 parks there. The walking park behind voter registration, and right there by a really super nice viewing platform that Ringgold made and dedicated. The mayor and everybody came out, named it and everything. So the gentleman's in charge of parks and recreation. I got his name today, so tomorrow I got to take a couple hours off for a home inspection. So while I'm off, I'm going to send him a note and see if we can get all our weeds trimmed so it's easier to film for all you guys that come down there along with us.
By the way, I'm going to fulfill a promise. I don't think he's on right now. It's just a busy NS yard. Jonathan, this is the NS yard. Actually, it's the second the. So this is Norfolk Southern's second largest classification yard. It's a hump classification. So there is actually a physical hump, and they can break, when they break the train down, they can let the cars roll down, and there are retarders that will actually slow them down further down. So yes, this is a very, very busy yard. The reason why you're not seeing much action is because these 3 are sitting right behind us waiting to go into the fuel rack that's right there. But there are constantly cars going by. There's actually another truck taking this corner as I speak, because this is a common entry for everybody who works over there in the garages, the fuel rack, etc. constant PTI cars going by. This is a Norfolk Southern Toyota. We see him sometimes. We're going to wave at him. But Norfolk Southern has Toyotas, believe it or not, and that's one of them. There you go. I don't know why they have a Tacoma, but they do. We see him fairly often. Looks like the guys that are doing the switching are getting off to manually throw a switch or something, because there have been two guys riding on the front of it, one in green and one in orange. You'll see them the next time they come by here in a second. He just hopped off, so I guess they're switching again. Anyway, yeah, these tracks are crazy busy. The only reason we are sitting here and yelling is because it's normally a great spot to watch the entry of inbound trains. And it's also the entry of the fuel rack. So,
those of you that haven't seen the video that Casey did of this yard, Jonathan and all the rest of you, Casey did an incredible outline of this rail yard now and before, and even highlighted some of the buildings that are still here today from the 1950s. And then we landed at Coffey's Cliff, and then the second half of that video is the actual teardown of the Southern train when it came in that day, of the Southern locomotive, where they break his train down, move him back into different tracks, and then the closest racks go back into the fuel racks that are next stop to the east from us.
Also, that locomotive's on the move, so I'm going to pan over to it in a second. It's still a ways down. That video is the Southern video, so if you go look at our Heritage video, it's in our Heritage playlist. It's the 8099, the Southern, and we give a little bit of the history of this yard. And he's right, we do a long flyover in Google Earth through the whole thing, land at Coffey's Cliff, show where everything is. I will authorize you to go and watch that now. Watch like the first 8 minutes. And then the rest of it is Mike sitting. Are you here, Mike? Is that where you're filming from?
Yes, right here.
Okay, so Mike films the rest of it here, and it's like an hour of them of switching trains, etc. So it's like watching a live. We weren't sure if anybody would actually watch that. We were curious, and turns out they will. So, oh, no, they were switching him. He was pulling up, and then he just reversed, and he's on another track. So they're still moving him around. But they have split them. There were two locomotives connected, and now that's just the one that's moving over to another track. So I'm not sure quite what they're doing. Tony, the Mountain Goat. I have no idea what the name of it is, but I can tell you that the entry point is sketchy and probably not legal. But once you get past that, it's a great off-road area. And I know that a lot of people do it, and I'm not saying just because other people do it that I should, but I can tell you it is a commonly used off-road recreation area. Please pardon me while I shake the camera again. I was trying to cover up the scanner so it wouldn't yell at you, and then I shook it loose. Matthew, I don't know if it has moved. Nobody's seen it, which would mean it could be the cover of night. Tony, what is the holdup? So, if you'll notice, you seldom see me and Mike in the same place at the same time.
Seldom is the key word in that sentence, Tony.
I travel a lot for work, and we do not have the same schedule. So as a result, getting both of us in one place, especially on a weekend, with spousal approval, because Mike and I are both married, is why I haven't been there yet. But I will. We will. And it won't be too long. I had originally told him, I think August was the goal. There goes another PTI van. That's a different one. That's an old Grand...
That can't be Edward. That's a woman.
Yeah, that's an old Dodge Grand Caravan. It is not Edward. Anyway, constant vans going back and forth for crew changes, etc. But I will make it up there, I promise. And I said I promise. So I didn't promise an exact timeline. But I will make it. We also have another couple of people lined up for the podcast. Yippee. I know who that is. Cody, you must have an alternate account. So we have another couple of people lined up for the podcast that are interesting. We met one guy who works at a classification yard in New York. So that'd be interesting for you because he is a CSX yardmaster. And he happens to be a childhood close friend of my wife's cousin. And I met him randomly at Christmas last year, and we were just chatting. I was talking to him, asked him what he did. Thank you, Matthew. I figured that out. So I was asking him what he did, and he said, "Oh, I work for the railroad." I'm like, "Oh." So that poor boy got grilled for like 2 straight hours, but he did say he'd come talk to us. Also, one of my neighbors is a Norfolk Southern engineer. My brother-in-law has a close friend he plays video games with. He's into Warhammer. And one of the Warhammer guys is also an NS engineer. So we got a lot of people we're going to talk to. We got a retired NS guy who's going to talk about life. Sounds like they're talking about where to move trains from the parking situation.
Hey Cody, guess what? 4624 is AC44C6L.
You'll never guess how Mike knows that. Anyway, our friend that's the retired engineer, he used to be the engineer on the regular route that ran every day from Chattanooga to the coal plant, the coal-fired power plant outside of Atlanta. And so he did that as his regular route. That was his job. He's now retired, lives in Cleveland. But he's a friend of mine, and he has agreed cautiously. He said he would come on. So I'm going to have to keep working on him, but he will. Weston, sorry you missed it last night. We ended up with, what, like...
I think we hit 10.
He says we hit 10. I know we at least hit 9. I watched every moment of it last night. I was actually on the entire time. Or not last night, Tuesday night. Like I said, we're old. I don't know.
Casey got tired and went to bed on us, y'all, remember?
I would like to clarify that.
Oh yeah, here it comes.
I put it on my bedroom TV, but I told Mike via text, you have to take over the chat because I'm going to lie down. And I did, but I left it on the TV and I sat there and petted my dog and watched it on TV. I just didn't have my phone in my hand. And then he said something about Mike left you and I picked up my phone. I was like, I didn't leave, I'm watching it on TV. So anyway. Cody, that was me with my emoji game on Tuesday night. I was trying to bring it back. But my game is weak. You must teach me. I did figure out how to do custom emoji on YouTube. We have to do it through a membership thing. YouTube is weird. But we're going to try and do it super cheap where you can basically get an emoji pack and it'll have... we're aiming to try and have CSX, a couple of NS Heritage, etc. It's limited how many you can have. I think the max is 6. But it'd be cool to have some responses. It'd be kind of like Discord, but instead of images, they'd be like little cartoons of the locomotive. So I thought that'd be cool.
6, I made a list of 21. Come on.
He did. Mike made me an extensive list. He wanted gates, he wanted lights, he wanted everything else. I was like, okay. I mean, I use the 2 red flashy things for the gates. I know for the lights, everybody uses the green icon, the red icon, etc.
And we need glowage.
We need glowage. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Selkirk, that is where he works. So he is the... There's a train master and a yard master.
Better get him to get a wave.
He is the one that does all the scheduling. So I guess he's the train master, not the yard master. He schedules everything, determines what needs to go where, who's about to time out, needs to switch over the priority cars, determines all the priority, etc. That's his job. So thank you, Jonathan. It is Selkirk. That is where he works.
4 for 4 on the drive-by waves, you guys.
Yep, that one also waved. I did not wave because I'm weak soft.
I shaved him into it, though. I waved real hard.
Mike is really enthusiastic, and if you don't acknowledge him, he will run out in front of you and continue waving.
You will wave.
He will force you to wave. But Jonathan, that guy has also requested a transfer to Wauhatchie, which is here in Chattanooga, because his mom still lives in nearby Dalton, Georgia, where you normally see Mike do the rail. The Tuesday night lives are always from Dalton. So we're trying to get him to do an interview on our podcast about his experiences in Selkirk, and then have him move to Wauhatchie so he can feed us information. That's the goal. We'll see.
That would be fantastic.
Matthew, I know for a fact that's an emoji.
We are clear south of the 3.
I'm wise to your game. Mike is moving the umbrella around.
You guys keep it going.
Cody, I promise it'll be cheap.
Hey, I have a question for you guys.
Beast gets in your way out there, just run him off like no straight out.
For whoever put all the money bags, Cody, why is it that so many rail cars have pictures of bank bags painted on the side of them? Does it have a meaning?
I'm gonna guess it has something to do with culture in the area where those trains get parked at night. That's my guess. I don't know. Matthew. Yeah, his his emoji are still loading, and he's acting like that's not a YouTube emoji. I know it is. You know how I know, Cody?
Another PTI.
That's how I
van.
know. I use Mike's phone.
Another PTI van.
Another PTI van. This one's black. You don't normally see black PTI vans. It's another Chrysler Pacifica. I'm telling you, they are constant. That's how many crew changes are happening. I'm going to tell you every time we see a PTI van, just so you know how many there are. This is also a woman, got a fully loaded crew going by. She looked at us very curiously. That was definitely not Edward. Very much a blonde woman. So, there is a monkey with a hammer. I don't think that's connected to the money bag thing he was asking. But you're putting in the work.
Right, and then the other one's the guy with the pointy nose and pointy hat. I keep seeing.
Oh! Mike keeps asking about the guy with the pointy nose and the pointy hat.
We see
I
him
keep
all
telling
the
him
time.
to take a picture. I know exactly who he means now. It's the spies from Mad Magazine's Spy vs. Spy. And yes, I have seen that on rail cars many times. Why that endures, I don't know, because that was a 1960s thing.
Oh, I see that all the time.
Last time it was popular was in the 80s. They had an 8-bit Nintendo Spy vs. Spy video game that you could play on an emulator, because I still do. So there is switching happening down there. Right now we are still waiting for what we believe to be the 4004. If that does look correct, he's sitting down there at the fuel rack. Once he moves, these three will move and we can stop yelling. You want to see what Mike is doing? Mike is scouting.
We need the remote control locomotive down here.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to tell you guys earlier, but everybody's walking on it, and I was trying to get a hold of you there. That's up to you guys if you want to do that, but we can just add over number real quick.
Okay, so you can hear them talking, hopefully. Mike, is that max volume on the scanner? Is that maximum volume?
Yeah.
Okay. That's loud as it gets, guys.
Yeah, I got him to wave twice.
Wave twice, same dude. That poor fella.
He won't come by anymore.
Mike has cured him of driving past here.
3-1 pull back to line 1, congratulations.
Oh.
I heard the word fuel rack. That's encouraging.
It's got contest. Who's got the most emojis?
Oh, I'm going to give you some of Mike's situation here. So there's this phone that we use to keep track. Then he has two more
One to
over
track
there.
on, one to watch. We work out of the back.
So he's got a tablet and a phone. Then we're working out of the back. You can see all the tripods and stuff. And then we have the umbrella that Mike kindly set up for me.
Night lights for tonight.
He's got night lights for tonight. And there's another one down here. Another one in there. We've got stools set up here that are holding our scanner, power source, etc. There's my car. There's Rail Moments Unit 8 over there. So we're here. And we are set up. And fortunately, the sun is setting. Thank goodness. My sunburn is much happier. We did not know they're reopening the cement plant. That's great. I guess that'll mean a lot of hopper cars going that direction. Probably gondolas too. I got sunburned. You knew that.
Poor baby.
Do not make fun of me.
Aw.
You can see the color Mike is because Mike spends a lot of his time outside. I am an office worker.
I am not.
Yeah, there's the contrast. You like that, guys? Who spends more time outside?
Hey, for those of you that have been to Whiteside Tunnel, anybody know if there is Wi-Fi available or if there is
Cell signal.
cell signal at Whiteside Tunnel? I was thinking about going there Saturday morning with you guys, where the old Civil War tunnel is, right there where Marion County and Hamilton County come together. before they go up the hill across 24 and then across Nickajack.
It is a cool spot. We really like that spot.
And a friend of mine went over and cleared it a little bit so he got a better swing for panning.
Oh, Jesse, right?
John.
Oh, John. Gotcha.
John the woodsman.
There's a lot of our friends that end up going around and clearing rail fan spots. We are going to try and adopt some of Coffee's Cliff and clear it a little bit, and also it makes Scott happy. And it's his spot. They named it after him. So.
And we got a weed clearer too.
We did. Mike bought a wireless weed, not exactly a weed eater, but he got a cordless one he can use to kind of trim up the area.
We bought it for down here.
Hey Brian, good to see you, sir. I missed you there. Hello. So I love the BNS executives, the Grinstein. There's a simple reason why. Our very first video, Mike and I went to Cohutta, Georgia, and we were trying to find a spot, had a lot of good action. We knew it was a good spot there. It is a great spot. We still love going back there. It also had one thing that Mike and I find is very crucial. It is close to a restaurant, and it is in the parking lot of an ice cream parlor. That is very important for us. And so in the process of going to check out that area and film, and we did this whole like montage. If you go back and look at Rail Moments episode number 1 in Cohutta, Georgia, the very first thing we saw that was distinctive was a BNSF Grinstein. We had never seen one before. We don't normally go to where BNSF trains are. Mike and I both live on a CSX track, and then we hang out down the DeButts, and you don't see Grinsteins coming into DeButts. And we looked at it, we're like, what is that?
Those are my first words. Casey, what is that? It just went by.
And that was the day we discovered the Heritage app, because I actually wrote in the description of the video, thanks to this Heritage app for, helping. And fast forward years later, we talk about the Heritage app all the time. We are not sponsored by them. There is no monetary connection, but we love it. It really helps connect us and the community. And we had no idea. We got a notification from one of our friends that our camera was added to the Heritage Unit cameras list. So our rail cam, the CSX rail cam that we run that's live right now while we're live, it is added now to the Heritage Unit app. And the guy who creates the app, we've actually messaged him and emailed with him now, but he added it. We had no idea. And so I took a screenshot and said, hey, you guys are featured. We're like, what? So really cool. It's come full circle. So we found the app. We were very appreciative, and now we're on the app. And we've just emailed the guy, and he's like, hey, cool, I just happened to run across it and thought, this is nice. And he put up our link, and we emailed him. We're like, hey, you actually used the wrong link, blah, blah, blah. So we got it all worked out. But the dude was super nice, very responsive, absolutely a gentleman to work with, and we appreciate that guy and all of his work. Oh.
All the messages from you guys in Cowan, all you guys in Cowan that send me the messages that, hey, Exotic's way to you, Mike. So every time I get one now, I put a note that, hey, it's on the way to you guys in Cowan now.
He does, and he sends me screenshots too.
Yeah, and then I send a note to Casey. Casey, guess what? And then I send him the picture.
I should show you guys our text thread with Mike. Because normally I talk to Mike pretty much my waking hours, and I get endless screenshots throughout the day. Or if there's a weather event or a spot he likes or whatever, I'll get multiple photos, and it's hilarious. So you can go through, if you scroll through my text and the images with Mike, it's like train picture, screenshot, train picture, the location scouting. There's a lot of communication between us all the time. So if you ever give a message to me, I do give it to Mike. So actually, I've got a message passed to Mike here momentarily. Tony says they're going to put a siding in September or October. That'll be cool. We'll have to come up and see that.
We gotta go film it going getting built.
We will go film it.
Train!
Oh, got another train.
Locomotive!
It is a train. It is not just a locomotive. It is slightly out of frame, but I'm going to bring you guys over because it's coming in. So it is down here. You can just barely see it. It just pulled up. It's right past that Toyota. It's got the light on. Now there are people getting out. I don't know if they're going to do some switching or what, but he looks like he's in line for the fuel rack. But as you can tell, there's something in the way of the fuel rack. We're going to keep an eye on that for a minute and just see what's happening. Also, Tony, my apologies. I am the reason why Mike called it Cohen for a long time, because I thought it was Cohen. It turns out we have been corrected. It is Cowan. And it is me that did not know that and called it Cohen. And I corrected Mike and said, I think it's Cohen. So he's been saying Cohen. Turns out, no, it is Cowan. And I did not know that. So my mistake. Yes, Jonathan, the auto racks that are here, there are always auto racks here. Why? One of the main reasons is a lot of auto production has moved to the south, but specifically Volkswagen. Volkswagen has a plant here in Chattanooga. They build Passats, the ID4, and I think something else here in Chattanooga. And so we've gotten more and more auto racks specifically from that. Also, I got to show you something cool. Since that train's not moving at the moment, it looks like they're going to manually throw a switch. I'm going to show you on this guy here before it disappears. Look right here in that horse. Somebody has drawn with their finger in the dirt a horse. So there's a horse inside the horse done by some very bored rail worker. That's kind of cool. Also,
They're a very good artist.
they were good artists. I wish I had that kind of finger dirt talent. Also, this one here, this one's interesting. If you look at it closely, right above 7600, the words under the window, it says under warranty. We posted this on our channel earlier, and I also posted it on Instagram, on our @RailMoments Instagram. I have no idea what under warranty means. If one of y'all know, tell me, but I guess if that thing breaks down, then they're covered.
Yeah, train brakes. If you have low-flowing brakes, where do you take it for repair?
I think you take it to the shop, so it shouldn't really matter. Also, this one says it's equipped with spotter control right here. Oh, we got movement. Hold on, sorry, he's coming in.
The switch looks like they're going to go just on the other side, but he won't be going to the fuel racks. He'll be going into the yard.
So he is going into the yard. We're going to chase him around here. I know he's slightly out of focus right now. He's a little bit too far for our autofocus to make up for.
Hey, tell everybody you're going to give me an upgrade and on the recorder.
Tony, yes, there is a Nissan plant in Smyrna. That is just an engine plant. But yes, there is a plant there as well. They send out a ton of stuff. All right, I'm gonna try and get a better angle. The middle NS Loco is 7600. It's an ES44 DC. Looks like it's rebuilt because the 4 is a stick-on sticker that's placed on the original one.
6417 is the lead locomotive.
Okay, 6417 is the lead coming in here. That's an old one. Is that an old EMD? I think that is. I think that's a 1972 EMD, if I remember correctly. Yeah, 19 Crash 84 says, I wonder if railroads ever get calls that we've been trying to reach you about your locomotive's extended warranty. I bet you they do. Probably get endless mail. Hey, I see your locomotive only has 3 million miles. Did you know it qualifies for our gold platinum coverage? I don't know how many miles locomotives get, but I imagine a lot. Do they have regular odometers? I don't even know. All right, they're throwing a switch. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. I realize this cuts down on the quality because we're now past the optical limit, but I'm going to try and get it to focus in better. Gosh, it is just so far, and that bridge is in the way.
Yeah, mine only works by doing it, yeah, like that.
So I'm going to do my best to keep it in focus, guys. I know it's not perfect focus, but we're going to catch it in better focus as it comes by. 6417 back on the move. You see the guys sitting on the steps, which they don't normally do. Normally they get up on the platform there. Yes, there is a gondola car and then a hopper car right in front of the train here. I'll show you those here momentarily, Jonathan. Once this guy passes behind these that are sitting still, I will show you what's sitting there, and then you'll see him come out.
Looks like he's 2 track. He'll be second track on the other
Okay,
side.
so he's 2 tracks over from where these are sitting at the fuel rack. Oh, you're right. It is in Deckard. Thank you, Tony. Okay, so Smyrna is an actual production plant. I did not realize that. What do they build there? Is that the Centra plant? You're right. It is Deckard I was thinking of. And Deckard absolutely is an engine plant. Okay, so he's going behind these. So there you see 4144 is that one in the back. Then 7600, which is the one that's somehow under warranty. And then the lead one here is the one with the horse inside a horse. That's 4624. And he's, you know, not as dirty as many of them are, but he's definitely got enough dust to draw a horse inside a horse. Then right here, you got the old gondola car.
Copy, wait. Yeah, go ahead.
Then an ancient hopper car.
All right, whenever you get ready, go ahead and fire shut the door here.
and then what's likely some ethanol in front of it. I'm guessing those are ethanol. And then a bunch more going down. You got everything, boxcars, gondolas, auto racks. You got it all sitting here. They are moving it around right now. And they have just stopped that one again down here. They have just stopped it, and I guess they're about to switch it over. Oh, Tony says he lives 2 miles from the Deckard plant. Well, that would be how you know. I'm sorry, Deckard. Tony, I'll try and not teach you about the area where you live. How's that? There's also a great tiger painted on the side of this boxcar that you guys are going to love when it comes by here in a second. It's kind of artistic. I'm not a huge fan of putting graffiti on anything, but if you're going to paint something, paint the most boring car there is to look at from the side. Please don't paint an auto rack. I hate that.
That's their favorite one.
Yeah. You know, I don't know why they don't paint the coal cars, because coal cars are like that standard gray all the time. They're just not an attractive thing. Why is it, Mike? Oh, is that what it is? They park at the coal plants? Okay, here he is. He's coming by. I can see him through the wheels of 4624, and here he comes now. He's old. I think he's a 1972 SD40, I think. I've looked him up before. He's looking forward. He's watching. He's not paying attention to us, as he shouldn't be. Flammable or poisonous liquids right behind it. Not sure what that one is, but I'm guessing ethanol. For food use only, so that's probably, that's not an ADM car, it's something. And there is the tiger. Look at that. That's some pretty good artwork. That's a huge canvas to paint a fairly realistic, or actually is that a lion? It's either a lion or a tiger, I don't know. But a very large cat painted well.
Here, kitty.
I did not want to meet whatever that was painted in honor of. XOMX, I don't know what that is. I haven't seen that one before. Got a lot of different identifiers on the side today.
Blue guy.
Hey, it's Yoshi.
What's a Yoshi?
Yoshi is a cartoon character from Nintendo. He's Mario's sidekick. Mike doesn't know things like that, so if you hear me translate things into Mike,
Which is all the time.
it is all the time. Mike will say, "What is this thing?" and send me a picture, and I'll say, "Oh, that's Yoshi," or "That's Spy vs. Spy Guy," or whatever. And then there are some that he knows, like when we were doing the Lehigh Valley, it had Top Cat on it. So we called out Top Cat. Oh, thank you, Tony. He says it is a tiger. Tony the tiger says it's a tiger.
Way to go, Tony. You're my hero.
I trust Tony. Non-odorized liquefied petroleum gas. All right, LP. Oh, sodium hydroxide solution. Let's not lick that one. I'm trying to read what these all are. A lot of these have chemical emergency information on the side, but it doesn't actually say what they are. And some of our friends know from the codes what they are automatically. I'm afraid I'm not that familiar with tankers. Hey, it's a Burlington Northern Santa Fe Railway. Actually, two of them. The second one is too. It's just the emblems rubbed off. The old BNSF car there. There's some more LP gas. Non-odorized. That means it's colorless, tasteless, and will kill you. I love that kind of stuff.
Nice set of choices.
Solid set of choices. By the way, Mike, while the flatbeds are rolling by, I have a message for you because I promised to tell you. Earlier today on our live cam, our rail cam, Southern Railroad rail fan said, "Mike, please come over here, still please. I heard you were going to for the Parade Marquette." And I said, "I'll tell Mike." And so I did. I told Mike. I carried through. I told you, I will always tell him. So I didn't know what plate means on the side. You see plate C, plate F, etc. So I asked Scott Coffey about it, the Coffey's Cliff man. He said that is the width. I said, "Oh, okay." It was simpler than I expected. So it's the width of the car. Union Pacific, Building America. There you go. Good to see a UP car. Oh, several UP cars.
76544. 76544.
Hey, Matthew, glad you're back.
Also, the paperwork is 8 o'clock.
Okay, I said I thought that 6417 was an old EMD, and it is. It was originally an SD40-2. I believe it's been rebuilt as a -3. I said it was built in 1977. I was close, but no cigar. I said 72. I'm sorry. It was built in 1977, so still an old one. That one says the David J. Joseph Company, DJJ. That's another unusual car. It's ancient. The Tacoma's rolling by down there. He's getting, I guess that's why they have a Tacoma.
Oh, he turned so he doesn't have to wave again.
Yeah, he's avoiding Mike's wave. Here is a guy. I'm guessing that's Keith. I guess that's Keith's self-portrait. That was his crowning achievement. At the end.
They got caught under the train.
Yep. Keith is standing in what looks like a field of grain.
Hi, Chuck.
Hey, Chuck. We'll walk back to say hi to you. Hello, Chuck. Also, I'm gonna catch this guy real quick while we wait for the auto racks to clear.
Yep.
I always laugh at Mike for showing you everything, but when something's not moving, I'm gonna show it to you. The sky is great right now.
And tell him about Erlanger and where life stands.
Yep. And you guys will always. Oh, okay, we got some action. That was startling, right in front of me. I don't know if you heard how loud that was, but it's much, much louder when you're right here where we are. So you see Mike a lot of times will talk about Life Force and the helicopter that lands, and you can't quite make it out, but it is that building that's right behind that tree. You see the top of it. So Life Force lands there. So if it comes by, we'll try and catch it landing for you. But it lands right on the parking garage of that building, up on the 5th floor, as I recall. I know because my father built the hangar that it's in. My father worked there about 30 years. And I used to go sit there with him and watch it land. It was really cool because he was an employee, so he got to go hang out there. And I could go sit in the parking garage, safely out of the way with my dad holding on to me and watch the helicopter land in front of me. So it was really cool.
Set the cab and wait on it.
Yep.
Keep your fingers crossed. We may have an approach coming our way.
Think we got an approach coming. Mike is looking down there. I do see what he sees. He's got binoculars. What he's looking at is in front of the Toyota, way down there, is one that looks like it is waiting for this one to clear. And he has his headlight on. He has his remote control light flashing. So I think they're going to drive it down here. We should see the guy driving with his waist controls on.
Waist belt guy tonight.
Yeah, the waist belt guy.
He does this.
19 Crash 84 said his mom was in a room at Erlanger that overlooked the helipad. Yeah, I think if you live in Chattanooga, everybody's had a relative in Erlanger, but rarely do you get put into the medical mall tower that overlooks the helipad. And it is neat. It's always a horrible reason to have to be there, but it is extra, I guess, I don't know. It gives you some interest of something to do while you're worrying, to look out the window and see the helicopter land and think about how hard they work to keep people safe, and also just see it doing a neat thing. But there's the mic looking into the distance. Normally this is not on camera, but I'm going to follow Mike around with the camera. This is what he does. That's right, Cody. A lot of movement, a lot of yippies tonight. Don't have any gates here, though. How are we going to yell gates? I don't know what to do.
There you go. Ding, 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 ding.
I need you to wear 2 red lights, Mike. I need people to cross over in front of you. This right here is a communications tower for Norfolk Southern, so we do get really good signal currently on the scanner. That's the west end antenna, but it also contains 3 security cameras, one of which watches the bridge. So if you were thinking you might do something dumb, don't. Matthew, I'll go for it. Hang on. Yippee! I say it all the time from my house. You just can't hear it through the keyboard. Thank you, Cody. That's what I needed. Gates. We have gates. I will tell you. Tell me if you think this is a dumb idea or not. Maybe I'm giving too much away. But I told you guys on Tuesday night I was working on a hoodie, And during the time I was answering you guys, I was working on another screen. I'm putting the hoodie together. And down the left arm, I have written, "We have gates!" exclamation point. If you like that, tell me, because I thought it was cool. I'm going to wear it. But anyway. We're trying to keep all the merch we're making cheap. We're really just trying to cover our costs on it and be able to get people to join in with us. We like wearing the gear. We think it's fun. You see Mike's wearing the shirt. I haven't told Mike why I don't wear my t-shirt that often, and because he bought me the size that was correct at the time, but by the time the t-shirt got printed, I'd gotten slightly fatter, and now it fits very snugly. But I will say my jackets and everything all fit. So when it gets cold, you will see me in full Rail Moments regalia. When it is hot, it is very body conforming for my current figure. So I have not been wearing mine lately. Donnie, I hate to hear that your mom was in there as well, but it is a great hospital. We are lucky to have it. I always got taken care of really well, even though most folks didn't recognize by my last name that I was the son of my dad who'd worked there forever. But even to this day, he's been retired for about 3 or 4 years. If I meet somebody who works there, I can say my dad's name. They're like, "Oh yeah," because he wasn't a doctor or anything. He worked in the construction team. They did all the constant remodeling. But everybody knew him because he worked there for so long. Those blinking lights are not actually white, Jonathan. They are actually blue. And as I understand it, they are a warning for the fact that there are remote control locomotives in operation right there. And it's also, the reason why they're at that spot is you can see there's a sign right here. It's drawing your attention to the sign. So you cannot go past that area without notifying the fuel rack supervisor. And there's a giant sign with warnings that are at eye level for the locomotives. Actually, they'd be on the engineer side. No, the conductor side. Anyway, there's a giant sign that says, "Hey, don't go past here without notifying the fuel rack supervisor." And it says you also have to notify the supervisor when you get past the derail. So there are derails right there, and they're so interested in you not crashing into another locomotive that's refueling that there are derailers that I'm assuming are remote controlled, and that's what the blue lights are there to indicate, is you're entering an area where there's a derailer that's active. You have to tell them. They will deactivate it, let you pass through, and then put it back up. But also, right past it's where the autonomous engines are operating. The autonomous locomotives are right past that. So I guess maybe they're serving both purposes. Normally you see strobes with the autonomous ones, the remote controlled ones. But it is right in front of that sign, and it is on the fuel rack. So anyway, Tony, I'm sorry to hear that, man. 74Z, okay, that's TBRM. I'll tell Mike. Mike, Matthew says we need to go to TBRM tomorrow and catch 74Z.
Oh, let me clear with you. Yeah, I'll let it make sense. All right.
I'm assuming you're referring to the Lackawanna that's coming down leading.
Yeah,
I know
he's currently coming south leading. We have inbound from the right.
Oh, inbound from the right. Yep, he's right. And I just tried to spin around the wrong camera, so I'm hanging out with Mike too much. There you go. You just see the headlight. It's coming in. No, the 74Z is weird. The Lackawanna Heritage is NS 1074-74Z.
Yeah, right and left edge.
But it's an SD70 ACE. Whereas Mike would say Ace. Hey look, a YN2, Matthew, way off in the distance. Let me zoom in a little bit. There is a YN2 leading, coming out on CSX. There it is. YN2 action coming out. You got an NS creeping in, and then going the other way. Hold on, I gotta spin it. Here comes the remote control switcher coming in. So we're gonna go back and forth. This guy, so here's the switcher coming in. There's a guy on the front. Down here, this guy's coming in. He's going to go right past this one. They're both moving.
That's where his little belt is.
So as he comes by, if you look at his waist, you will see his remote controls on it, his waist controls.
An orange pouch.
He has a little orange pouch there. Mike's waving at him. He's doing his job. 6204, he's stepping down, but he's still controlling it. Oh, there we go.
There's a slug.
And there's his slug. There's a traction slug right behind him, 861. Okay, so here's this guy coming into the yard. Sorry for all the quick movement. A lot's going on right now. He's got 2 locomotives. I cannot see what the front one is. The back one looks like 76. I can't read it. I can't quite read it. I think it says 7697. I'm not positive. But he'll be coming by momentarily, and you will see it. He has just gone behind it. You can hear his bell.
And the bell, the switcher's reversing.
Switcher's reversing. My bad. Get out of the way here. Here comes the switcher. Now he's up on the front. He's just driving around. That's an old SD40 on the back there. It has not been rebuilt. That's a -2. That's an old one. He's about to hit the box cars. And this guy, I've watched him drive before. He hits them with some pretty good vigor sometimes. So we'll watch him. I'm going to zoom in slightly and watch him get ready to connect these. Yep, it's a zebra. You're right. And then it's got what do they call them? The cat whiskers up on the cab. Is that what it is? Or catfish? I can't remember.
Yeah, they're called catfish.
Catfish,
Because of the
yeah.
cat whiskers.
Because they got the whiskers up on the hood.
Catfish locomotive. He's gonna go on the other side so we won't see him.
Mike says the one passing through is going on the other side of the auto racks, so we will not catch him from where we are. But switcher's hooking up and about to pull up and then throw the switch. So there's still action happening right now. It looks like he's throttling up. He is. There it goes. About to make contact. Got to yell contact. Contact. There he goes. You can see him shove back the boxcar a little bit. He didn't hit it as hard as he does sometimes. I guess he's not in as much of a hurry. But if you watch him from Coffey's Cliff, there have been times when he hits it hard enough, he will move 4 or 5 cars will lurch. He gets some steam under that one sometimes. Oh, here comes another one. Oh wait, no, that's just the ends of that one. Sorry guys. I saw a flat car and I thought it was a brake in the action there, but it's not. Is that same one that's passing by behind it? Clunk. Yeah, that's. Oh no, it is. There you go. You can see it on the back. It is going out. So there's one going out on the back with 3 NS units, and it's got coil cars. You can just barely see it, and it's going the other direction behind this one. So I was right. There's a lot going on right now, but he is about to move these, and since it's close, we're going to watch him. So he just throttled up a little bit. If you're wondering, will there be any light here? Yes, there actually is an overhead light, which is very nice of them.
Yeah, we have lots of light here.
Lots of light. There is this one, which is LED, which gets quite bright. And then there's that one there. And then there's that one there. And then there's that one there. So there will be lots of lighting here tonight, so don't worry after it gets dark. There will be plenty of light, and if these trains, these 3 locomotives in front of us ever move, there'll be a lot of light there as well, because Mike has all of his portable lighting here with us tonight. Oh, yeah, Tony says it's a zebra, because think about it, a zebra is part of the horse family. Of course it's a zebra. But we have heard people call
Catfish.
the nose things here. Let me show you on this one. We've heard people call these stripes catfish, and maybe they were just being silly. I don't know, but I have heard that. But yeah, you're right. There's definitely a zebra pattern on that SD40-2 right there. Cody had to break out the big brain. I feel that, man. I feel that in my soul. I'm gonna move you just barely to the
You better
side.
hope we don't feel rain.
Yeah. We have the dead cat on tonight, so it is blocking some of the wind noise. But I promise you there is... Hey, Mike, can you screw just slightly left for me, brother? Thank you. I was trying to clear that pole. There is definitely some wind picking up, and it's getting a little bit windy. You can see the top of the grass moving. Hopefully you won't get a lot of that in the microphone. Got a bridge, a traffic bridge, goes right above over there. You see there's an ambulance driving by right now. So you can drive, there's multiple traffic bridges that come over this, including when we spin backwards to where this one's still running. You can, there's a bridge right here that goes right past the zoo. That's the one I drove over to get in here, and there's another bridge right past it. So as you're driving through, it is, it's great to be able to look down, see how busy everything is that day, kind of get an idea. This one right here, this is kind of interesting. This one has a door on the nose with a window. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a window right there on that locomotive. On an ES44DC. Oh, a mouse. Mike has spotted a mouse, and there is a mouse. And he is right, oh, he's jumping. Oh, God, I missed him. I'm sorry, Mike. I missed him. Oh, well. I hate it. There was a mouse. Sorry for the earthquake for no reason. Mike called mouse. I tried to catch it. I saw him.
There he goes.
There he goes. There he goes. He's right there on the gravel, and he's hopping. You can see him there. There he goes. He's moving. He's right there. That's our little friend. As long as he doesn't roll up my leg, we're going to be great friends.
That camera will be doing more spinning.
Yeah, if he goes up my leg, I promise you, I will be in the truck. So the remote control operator just got on the Tacoma and left. But he has everything turned on, and he's still running the lights, the flashing yellow lights, which, as we just talked about, mean that he's in autonomous operation. So they did not shut him down. They just drove him down to the other end. So he must be setting up to move something pretty big, or he's got to throw a switch at the other end manually and then reverse.
The train could be locked down at the other end.
Oh, that's true. Mike said it could be locked down at the other end. He may have to go unlock the brakes at the other end. That's possible. There's not really a grade here. There's a very slight grade.
Toyota just pulled back up behind the supermarket.
Okay, so the Toyota's just pulled back up, so they must be about to drop him out. That other train is still running down here. Auto racks now. He's still going by. That is a very, very long train, but he's going slowly right now. Got a lot of different auto racks. I don't know if you remember on Tuesday night, we had everything. We had UP, CSX, BNSF, Canadian Pacific. I think we had Canadian Northern. We had like every possible auto rack on that one auto rack train. It was the most variety I've ever seen of auto racks on one train, but this is a very, very long one. Again, auto rack's very common here in this area. We're gonna look at the back of Mike's head as he looks through the binoculars. We're gonna gently move Mike to this side. There we go. Oh, just turned the light on. I see what Mike was watching. They just turned the light on down there. There is another locomotive coming down on that end. He is rolling, but he is probably a mile away. He's so far away, you can see the heat shimmers in front of him. So he's a long way away. Oh, all the lights just kicked on. I guess you saw that on the left side of the screen there. All the...
There we go, we have light.
Yep, we have lights, Jonathan. Everything just kicked on. And we got the moon. I know Mike always likes to show you the moon. So I'll be Mike tonight. There's the moon. I'll put the moon in the frame with the NS and the sunset.
Over Norfolk Southern.
It is pretty.
Moon rising on the earth.
Oh. Compressor just kicked on this guy. Put a little more air in the lines. It was time, I guess.
Oh, don't get told we got Lehigh Valley.
Yeah, if you missed it, Tuesday night we got Lehigh Valley leading solo.
From a startup.
Yeah, it was great. I didn't think it was going to happen, I'll be honest. I was in a pessimistic mood. I know.
Really?
Mike is an eternal optimist. Mike loves Christmas. I don't. So, anyway, there is as we were...
Bad case. Bad case.
I was hoping something would come. Mike thought it was a 2 box of Cracker Jacks night. I'm like, all right, maybe.
He agreed with me. Between 4.5 and 5.5 hours from us down to us, and we were right on the money.
But we've had so much luck lately catching Heritages live. I thought, oh, there he goes. Switcher's backing up. He is remotely powering up the SD40. He is not even down here, so he is running it from the other end. So yeah, I guess he was either throwing a switch or moving brakes.
That point will make the train come back.
Woo! He's throwing off some smoke.
Push, old engine, push.
He's working. He's working. And if you look down there, you can see a glimmer of light on this car right here. That glimmer of light is the headlight on the other one. Yeah, I know, Cody. He is definitely putting out the smoke, let me tell you. But that glimmer of light is the train coming the other way. What's up, Matthew?
We haven't got Casey train yet. It's glowing.
The glowage that you see on the car down there is the train coming the other way. I did, yeah, absolutely. I watched the news all day and half the night and woke up on Sunday and continued watching it. So yeah, a crazy event. Very sad for America. No matter what the party, you definitely want to make sure our presidents are safe and our former presidents. A sad event, 100%. Oh, here we go. They're coming back. You're going to see headlight passing headlight. I'm going to see if I can get a little more zoom for you. Oh gosh, it's reaching the limit of where a camera can do right here with the low light. We've got our low light camera on. I'm going to tighten up this tripod. They are now side by side. If you see the Norfolk Southern property marker, I promise you we are not on it. The Norfolk Southern property actually starts at that yellow fence that we're behind, but the sign is in front of the fence. So yes, you can see the Norfolk Southern property sign, but we are safely behind it. There we go, side by side, baby. One going forwards, one going backwards. That's something we don't get to see in Dalton.
Westbound continues to proceed.
So the westbound is going west and the other westbound is going east. The switcher is proceeding. I'm not actually sure what this is up front. I don't think we've seen this one yet. Oh, it is not a train. It is just a locomotive. And it is coming our way, I guess. Is it autonomous? No, it's not. It does not have a flashing amber. That is not an autonomous locomotive, but it is going by itself down the yard. I'm not sure what he's doing, and I'm not sure who he is. But we're about to find out. Whoa, Mike, me and your tripod are having quite a night tonight.
What's your problem?
We just have some disagreements on what needs to go where and when. Okay, that one says 6417. Okay, I tried to. Yeah, that one. Okay, my bad. 6417. Sorry, guys. I'm channeling my inner Mike, and I'm having some tripod issues right now. I see the issue he has. I'm going to buy Mike a new tripod for Christmas. But here we go. 6417 coming into view right now.
I gotta come out of the south end.
Oh, he's walking out. Well, hello, sir.
Right here, grab it.
He's stopping.
Cat plus fish equals NS. Good job. Set it in emoji, too. I'm so proud of you, Cody. Mike is frantically waving at the man who is frantically ignoring him. He waved. He waved. That's as much as he's going to get. You know what, though? If I had people following me at work, I probably wouldn't do a lot of waving either. We can't help it that he does something interesting.
I'm telling you, the only place it's going to go is here.
I believe you now. I had it working for a minute, but you can't quite hear. The scanner hates me. Mike's going to help me with a different scanner situation.
Okay.
I'm trying to get the scanner closer, but the tripod just does not have a good place to put it. Mike is going to save me with another tripod. Oh, here he goes. Here he goes. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Cody, I feel that, man. Trust me. We've got every $5 Amazon tripod you can imagine.
Hey, that's not true.
Sorry, not quite that bad. But yeah, we have a lot of tripods that are not cooperating tonight. We have 5 tripods here tonight, and none of them seem to want to cooperate with the scanner. But Mike, being the resourceful Mike that he is going to duct tape the scanner to the tripod. That's what we do for you. We duct tape scanners to tripods. It's a full service operation here at Rail Moments. Matthew, I'm not going to comment on if it's a skill issue. Listen, it just is what it is, okay?
No, I think you should expand on that.
No, I don't think I should.
I would.
No.
Oh, yeah.
This operator does not make errors. It is definitely oh, here he goes. He is cleared on the other side. So he is not autonomous. He does have a man on board, but the man on board apparently is in command, because I'm going to guess he's going to go down, throw the switch that's right past where he is. So I bet you he stops right around that corner. He's going to throw the switch and come back.
PTI.
What kind of scanner do we use? This is a Bearcat SR30C. We have 2 of them. One of them sits at my house, and one of them is right here with Mike at all times. It is this one, a Uniden Bearcat SR30C. So that's it. That is our scanner.
Railfanner suggested that to me.
Yep, Railfanner told us what to get. We got it. We love them. We use external antennas and stuff. We fancied them up a little bit. We've got external power for them and all that stuff. But the basic model, yeah, that's what we have. And I've got one. Yeah, thank you, Matthew. I think I'll skip on that one. But we do have one at my at the rail cam that we have set up for the CSX track, the one that I normally try and maintain and keep running. We are setting up another scanner that will have an audio input for it, so that you guys will be able to hear the CSX traffic on the rail cam. So we are working on that. How much was it, Tony? I don't know. We bought them 3 years ago. We think they were about $100. Tony, these tripods were no less than 5, I promise you. We didn't get the $1 tripods. We went straight big time. We said, hey, all plastic, $5 or more. Mike is actually getting a fluid head tripod now. And a fluid head tripod is fancy. That's what they use in like TV studios. And that's exactly what it sounds like, the head that everything mounts to. Oh, did you get it? Is that it?
No, I don't have that.
Oh, that's not it.
Hey, don't let him kid you. I got all kinds of stuff. And this goes 14 directions. This thing goes up like 9 feet in the air. You can turn it around. If it goes underneath, you can turn it around, and this, you can film down here. You can take a leg off and walk around like that. This does all kinds of stuff.
That may be true. However, what he has given me to use tonight is this. This is what that is attached to.
I can't trust Casey with nice things yet.
He's holding out on me, I promise. He's holding out.
As we all talked the other night, the fluid head is ordered and it's guaranteed no later than Monday, but I'm hoping tomorrow so we can play with it this weekend.
So fluid heads, I used to work in TV a long time ago. I worked for a TV station in 2000 through like 2002 or 3, and we had fluid head tripods back then, and that's what we would use for our big heavy cameras. But it's just like it sounds. It's got like a hydraulic fluid in it, so when you move it, it pans very smoothly. And you can get them on eBay and whatnot. You know, they've been around a long time. They're an old technology, but it works really well. They'll hold a heavy camera, which means it will hold our DSLR camera that we have, that we use at Coffee's Clip. and we'll be a lot smoother with it. So look forward to using that in production soon. We're going to spin you back around because he's coming back into view. He just put up his light right past Mike's head over his left shoulder. You see that headlight? That one just came back on, so he's going to be coming our direction here. Matthew, you drive a hard bargain, but the amount of time I spent programming this thing for Mike is probably worth the $8.
And Mike still doesn't know how to operate it, so I always go, Casey, how can you do this with it?
He'll say, what I'm just doing is static. And I'm like, well, where are you? And then I have to figure out from my list of, oh, look, another one just lit up. So we got two coming this way down there. You'll see them shortly. They're coming westbound.
Oh, you know what? It's the other light reflecting.
It is. I know. I thought it was cab lights too. It's not.
You tricked me again.
And that's a comfort cab. But anyway, it took me a long time to get on program. Then I have to look up where he is and tell him which one to hold, what buttons to press, and blah, blah, blah. So the scanners are very, very helpful for us. We use them all the time. I use them at home. I especially use them when I'm operating the drone because the drones don't have audio. And so I can safely listen to it and everything and not worry about it like playing over what we're trying to record. Whereas if we're doing an episode or one of our, what I call our features, if we're doing a full video about something, we want to make sure that there's good sound quality, so we turn the scanner off for that. But if I'm using the drone, I don't have to worry about it, so I can just crank the sound up and let it go. Okay, here he is. One on the left is moving towards us. So we're about to get one come by. I'm going to zoom in just a touch. We're going to get into digital zoom if I zoom much more, but we're going to try and go to the limit of optical zoom here. The left one is coming in. He's about to pass underneath that sign. And you will see him cross over that other headlight here in about, I don't know, probably 3 seconds. He is moving at a decent pace. I cannot yet tell if he's just one locomotive or if he's got any cars behind him.
See, when I'm in normal mood, I can do like one or two or slide it up. When I go right, it doesn't indicate.
Yeah, you gotta just...
I can only do this.
Right.
And if I'm in record mode, then I can pick how close I am.
YouTube's app is just difficult.
So it's not just that. Right?
No, it's not. You're definitely not operator on that, I promise you. Two locomotives with no cars. It could be. The guy is getting out of the Toyota. You see him just step out there on the left in the green vest. So there's the green vest guy and the orange vest guy that have been running the autonomous ones and riding around on them. And green vest guy just got out of the Tacoma right where that engine just stopped. So I guess he's going to hop on it again, or he's going to throw a switch, but they're about to do something with it. But he is on the fuel rack.
Fuel rack's down there.
Yeah, he's getting on it, but he's on the fuel rack track. I don't know if they just switched onto it or what. Hey, I want to know too. I'm not sure what's happening. They want to know what kind of fancy orange tripod was that you were just holding, and I don't know. I'm not going to play with it. And Mike is using the Amazon one. Let's see what this is. Quick tripod break for those of you who like to photograph trains. This is a K&F Concept K234A7, and it has some very, very long legs on it.
Hey, seriously, you guys.
Watch this.
I love this, okay? And if you go on Amazon and you find this particular model, the guy gives you an example of everything this tripod does. Now check this out. You can
He's going to bring it up.
unscrew one, it goes that high. Unscrew another, it goes that high.
So Mike is 6'3", so you can see it goes at least 7 feet up. It's very, very tall, and that's where the tripod base is, but it will go
Fluid motion,
way, way up there.
this goes.
Yeah, that tilts. That's a ball tripod. So you got ball head tripods, fluid heads, etc. That one is a ball head. Yeah, Cody, I'll message you.
This leg detaches, and you can make it a, what do you call that thing?
Oh, you can make it a monopod because
Yeah.
that leg detaches and turns into a monopod. So it is really cool. It's a nice little tripod.
If it's super windy out,
No kidding, Tony. I didn't know that. So they broadcast on FM? Oh, yeah, he's showing you if it's super windy, it will actually spread out and lie almost flat. The legs go way, way out. I'll show you how wide that is.
and it'll actually go wider.
And it will go wider. It'll go where it's basically sitting on the ground. Oh, we got action. Here comes something else. Sorry, guys, to interrupt this tripod broadcast. We got some action coming in. It is an NS. It's intermodal, so it's going to be going on the bypass. He's going to skip the yard. Mike's going to try and spot the number for you real quick. Oh, it's so dark. The light is right in front of the number board, and we cannot see it. It is very bright. Now, there's two
locomotives.
Two
on the
locomotives
head
up front.
Both NS.
bunch of short intermodals, the 40-foot intermodals. Actually, some of those look like 28s. It is very colorful. Those are shipping containers. Those are international shipping containers. Those came off a boat somewhere. But yeah, he's going on the bypass track. He'll be behind the auto racks. He's not going through the yard. So Mike, can you explain what you always explain to me about what comes here? All the trains that are going where stop here and why? And you got to yell because it's still talking over the engine.
All right, where we are located is the west end of the DeButts yard. So every train coming down from Cincinnati on the C&O and TP, everything coming down from Knoxville, and everything that's coming up from Atlanta North District, all come in at that end and either pass through here or come into the yard. In addition, the W&A has a pass-through track for the CSX on the far side. So there's two NS pass-throughs and the CSX on the far side. Once they go out the west end of town, then they split off and either go down the AGS to Birmingham or the joint line over to Decatur, where they split, not Decatur, but over to Stevenson, where they split. CSX goes up to Nashville, and NS then goes down to Huntsville and over to Decatur. Because of Lookout Mountain, every single train that goes through Chattanooga, east or west, goes through this point right here or stops at the yard. If the train is a westbound train, he comes down here, stops, and they start breaking him down. If it's an eastbound train, they'll go through the yard and down at Coffey's Cliff, down at that end, they do the same process.
Thank you, Cody. I caught the significance of the Easter Island head. You're right, my zoom was a little tight, but I thought you'd want to see the individual hairs on Mike's head as he was talking to you. So, Mike, that was the first part of that was a very, very close explanation.
I shaved for y'all this morning.
So this is not a PTI car. This one is somebody's very nice, looks like an Audi maybe, or a Lincoln, I can't tell.
Speedy driver.
Very fast. He is getting away from us. He did not want to wave to Mike. So every time this thing kicks on, it makes me jump out of my skin a little bit. That air compressor, when you're standing next to it, is pretty loud. And we are very close to it. If you look in between, you can actually see the NS bypass. That's still that intermodal from down here. The intermodal is going behind it, and you can just see it passing through in between these two here. But man, how beautiful is the light right now.
Hey, we're on the rabbit now.
Okay, one of the guys said, hey, we're on the rack now. I'm not sure if they're about to move or what.
What was the question?
The engineer just said, hey, we're on the rack now. So I'm not sure if they were asking him his status, but he would think that would mean they have to be getting ready to move from the fuel rack. Yeah, down yonder. So this guy down right behind Mike, so the guy got out of the Tacoma, he walked up to the train, and then he seemed to have disappeared again. Now the Tacoma seems to be gone. So I'm not sure what they just did with those two, but it is still running and it's still ready. So I guess they're going to start building another one in front of us. That would be my guess. I'm not sure. It could be. I'm not sure, Cody. It is old. Hang on.
Call me old.
No.
Okay.
I mean, you are old, but that's not what they're referring to. We're referring to the 7600 here. And I do have a way to look it up. Give me 1 second. I think I can tell you if it was rebuilt and then what it was rebuilt from. So hang on. Because on the side of it, it says ES44AC DC. ES44 DC. But let me see what it is. Hang on. Okay. It was originally built in in 2006. It was built as a GE ES40 DC. And now they have rebuilt it as an ES44 DC, and the way that they have numbered it is literally on the side where it said ES40 DC, they stuck a 4 over the 0, and that's the amount of effort they went to. But yeah, it is now an ES44 DC. So built July of 2006, so it just celebrated its 18th birthday. So not quite as old as I thought, but it's no spring chicken either. Old GE there.
And for those of you keeping up with the Lackawanna that we were talking about him being here possibly early tomorrow, he is still in Ohio as of 43 minutes ago. On train 179, he will come to DeButts, but we don't have to get up early because he won't be here in the morning by any means. But that does mean you guys got to keep track of him and let us know on our cam, on the chat there, so that we can kind of keep track, because if the timing's right, you guys and I will all go racing after him and catch him coming down the CNO and TP. So, Matthew, Cody, all you guys, you're in charge of that project tomorrow.
And we got a CSX bypassing going out. It is just a grain hopper train. Not very interesting. They're not even spray painted. They're just a whole bunch of hoppers. To let you know, there is a CSX going by on the bypass right now. I'm still watching this right here. I'm going to monitor him for movement. And this guy, we thought for a second, but when the lights started going down before the street lights kicked on, we thought that the 7600 we were just talking about, we thought he had turned on his cabin lights. But you're actually just seeing the light going straight through the back window and reflecting off the back wall. So it's a cool look, it's a cool shot, but unfortunately it is not lit up. And something very intently bent on mischief just bit my leg. So, we're here waiting for this guy to come back in the Tacoma. Start switching. You heard on a minute on the radio a minute ago, the guy was talking about how he's on the fuel rack. So we do know there is either an engineer or conductor in the locomotive that's at the fuel rack, which we believe is still the 4004. So there's somebody on board. We're hoping that means he moves soon, and then these three go out.
Hey everybody, my wife just called in. She said to tell y'all hi.
So say hello to Mike's wife, Danny. Hi, Danny.
She's yelling hi in case you can't hear her.
You'll see Mike's wife at some point. The thing that I enjoy about it, as I've told you tonight a few times, Mike is very tall. Mike is 6'3". His wife Danny is 4'11". So if you see the two of them together, you'll immediately know who they are. Actually, I think she's 4'9". She's a small person, and Mike is not a small person. sure what's happening with the scanner. It sounds like there's somebody communicating from out of range, but we're right next to the repeater, so that may actually be the CSX that was passing by. Now we're back on the yard channel because it's scanning right now. We're scanning through, including the stuff that's going on the bypass. So if you hear something that gets a little wonky, it may be the stuff coming by on the bypass over there. We're rolling all the local channels on scan right now, so we're not just on the yard channel. Yeah, sounds like Morse code. Yeah, there's a cloud directly above us. It looks really sinister. If it looks sinister to you, it does a bit to me right now. But it actually, the only time it has rained is right when I rolled up. When I pulled into the parking spot, it wasn't raining on me as I was even coming down the road. I pulled up and backed in next to Mike, got out of the car, it rained on me briefly, and then stopped. And it hasn't rained since, so I don't know. What are my thoughts on the CPKFC? Well, for one, I embrace fried chicken in all of its forms. But I'm assuming you're referring to the Canadian Pacific Kansas City Limited, so the Transcontinental Railroad. You know, look, realistically, as much as I love short lines and I love independents and railroads, it is very hard to be competitive in rail freight moving. And mergers and consolidations are just the same continuation of trying to find efficiency, and they're going to continue happening. There will continue to be mergers, and I understand the reasoning. I get it. It's still sad every time you see a railroad that you've enjoyed watching kind of disappear into another corporate umbrella. It is what it is. Yeah, Mike says like losing your favorite bank. I was a little angry when SunTrust merged. That's true. But anyway. Yeah, I'm going to try and get a shot of this, actually. I'll show you. That look like Tupac. I've been listening to some Tupac today. Does that count? Okay, so I'm going to show you on the side of this thing. You can see the kind of broken pattern in the side of it. That's because how many times it's been repainted. Oh, here comes Life Force. That's the helicopter for the hospital. He is coming in and he's going to land right behind us on that building. He is coming in fast. I'm assuming he has somebody. He doesn't run a siren, so it's hard to tell, but you can see that he is landing. He is about to land right behind us on that building that's just out of sight. So he will go, we actually can't see the helipad from here, but as it goes behind Mike's truck, he is landing. There you go, there's Life Force. But anyway, back to the paint. You can see in the paint on the side of it, it looks like it's a little bit crackled. That's actually, you can see they've repainted over the old paint over and over and over. You can still see some of the lettering and such from the previous repaints. That thing it's been repainted a lot. But I will say, it's fairly shiny. I mean, it's dirty enough you can draw a horse inside of a horse, but it's not a very old repaint. And you can see it's got very fresh lettering there. It says, there's a little bit of a glare from the street light. It says NSAC 44 C6M. So one of the ones we see all the time. But that's all nice, crisp lettering. And then there's a very important label, a thing not to stand next to. That right there, the label above that says toilet drain.
Where do you see? Oh, right there?
Yeah.
You can read that?
I can read that. So yeah, you don't stand in front of that. Mike is now currently trying to read it with binoculars. which I find amusing personally. Yeah, it's definitely what it says.
We hear all the scanner actually. This is covered up. We can normally hear all the guys working and talking and see them.
Yeah, Mike's saying typically we could hear everybody talking on the scanner and see them working and know what they're doing. The problem is twofold. Oh, here comes another PTI. Here's the black PTI van rolling in. Mike's waving. Let's see if she waves. She's looking at Mike with vague suspicion. That is the blonde woman again in the black Pacifica. But there's a twofold issue with that tonight. Number one is we're at the very west end, as you said, where they break down everything that's coming in westbound, or coming in from the west. No, coming east. Right. Sorry, coming in from the east to the west side of the yard. I'll get this eventually. This is where they break everything down. So some of the operations are happening that you can hear on the scanner are actually happening in the middle of the yard where the hump classification is. It is in a spot that you cannot see from any legal filming vantage. You can stand on the bridge and watch it, but the bridge, you're not supposed to stand there. So, anyway. All right, Cody gave us a tail number. That one was N457MT. Yep, I'm also a fan of watching all that. There is an app, FlightAware, that I use pretty often to keep track of those things.
Coffee's Cliff to here is 2.9 miles.
There's also, if you haven't used it, Flight Radar 24. Flight Radar 24 is very handy. You can track tail numbers that way as well. It has augmented reality. So you can point it to the sky and it'll tell you what it was. So yeah, this is the one he was just telling me the tail number of. This one is N457MT. It is a Bell 407. Belongs to Erlanger Health. And it is one of their 4 Life Force helicopters. Actually, I think they have 4 again. They had 3. One crashed about 2 years ago. Tragically killed some people. But I believe they have purchased another one. I think they're back to 4. Matthew, as somebody who comes apart when they see a CP, I wouldn't talk too much trash to Cody. So that locomotive's still sitting there. They just fired up another one, so you can see the Tacoma is what just crossed in the background. The Tacoma is going straight across the middle of the tracks, and he is going down now to that other locomotive, which has got his headlight on now and seems like it's going to be coming this direction. I'll be honest, I have no idea what they were doing with the crew and why they keep picking them up and moving them. You would think typically they're just building or tearing down, honestly, tearing down trains at this point, and separating them over to the tracks inside the yard, the classification tracks. But right now, they've just been, oh, the defect detector just went off, Mike. That's the 23rd Street?
What's the number? Did you hear that?
I did not hear the number, but it says no defects. There's another one though. There's the CSX one as well. I didn't see what frequency. Well, there's the NS one too. They're both that way? Oh, I thought there was one by East 23rd.
You can hear the number.
All I heard was no defects, which is, I caught that on the end.
334.1 that way.
And Mike is pointing this direction. 334.1 is a defect detector. That's the NS one.
And the 133.9 is that way.
And the 133.9 is also that way, and that is CSX. So we heard one of them fire. I don't know which one it is. It was in signal for us here. We do have a remote antenna plugged in, but still, it can't be too far away. It was definitely one of those. So it could not be signaling for this one because this intermodal is still going. You can just barely see it moving right there, but that's that movement. That intermodal is still going. So I doubt that's what it was. I don't know. There is another locomotive that is smoking a bit because you can see the smoke coming by right here. So there must be something sitting right behind it, but I cannot see that one. Oh, yeah, he's right. Mike is saying it's actually the 4624, and he's right. You can see it right here. It is smoking a bit. We couldn't see that in the daylight, but at night you can with the lights hitting it.
The defect detector could be that train tripping as it goes this way, the end of it.
So you think it's the very end of the intermodal?
I think it's the end of the intermodal tripping.
Okay, so Mike thinks what we heard with no defects is that intermodal that's on the bypass that we just pointed out to you. He thinks it was the end of it.
It's not as far down as the CSX.
So Cody, I'm guessing that is the CNC, right? That's what Chattanooga and Chickamauga stands for. I did not know it was headquartered in Lafayette. I actually thought it was headquartered in Chickamauga, to be honest. So Mike says I'm an idiot.
Old Lafayette.
I mean, he says old Lafayette. Oh, by the airport.
No, it's in the little old town of Old Lafayette.
By where the restaurant is, where we
Yes,
eat.
with the ice cream store and the restaurant. The restaurant's fantastic. The ice cream store is awesome.
The ice cream store is awesome. I will vouch for that. There's also a highly rated barbecue joint on the corner, which I have not eaten at.
Yeah, it sits back like 4 or 5 blocks from Lafayette to the west.
Yeah, so if you come off the main bypass and you go into town, yeah, there's a little yard there. We have also watched the trains come by the airport there, and for a while there was 3 sets of action. You can see the planes land at the little airport there. You can see the trains go by on the tracks that are on the edge of the airport runway. And when Volkswagen had their massive diesel recall, they used the abandoned Bluebird bus company that was next door to store all of those cars. So there were probably, what, 3,000? Thousands and thousands and thousands of Volkswagens sat there in that yard for years waiting for the recall. So it was all the ones they purchased back during Dieselgate. So you would see just rows and rows and rows of them, and because a lot of them were the diesel Beetles and stuff, there were a lot of Skittles colored cars out there.
I like it. Skittle yard.
Yeah, Skittle colored. So it was a neat place to go and just see a variety of things. So if you're into planes, if you're into cars, if you're into trains, there's something for everybody. I just like transportation. I'll watch anything. Oh yeah, Mike is right. The intermodal just stopped. You can barely see it. It's down here, and it's too dark. It's just getting some residual light bouncing off the floodlight down there. But it just stopped completely, and it's on the bypass track. So I guess he's waiting to cross 23rd?
He could be waiting for CSX to cross.
So there may be a CSX coming in, and the NS is waiting for it to cross.
He's just waiting for clearance to leave out. Because he could have something inbound.
There we go.
That's a cool picture.
It is.
Behind the clouds.
No rain yet. We're still good. Still dry. If you got questions, now's the time. We're waiting on a white Tacoma to return with our guys. Also, I'm guessing there's not been another report on the 4004. Cody, have you checked? I have not looked at the Heritage app.
We need to call Edmund in time to get it fired up.
Yeah, we're going to flag down the next PTI car and say, hey, who's Edward? Cody, you sent me a picture of the MRL, the 4316. I know exactly what you mean. It is it's a rail link locomotive. I'm going to show you here on the camera. It won't really pick up. I bet, was the Focus. But it's a really neat locomotive.
Oh, we can see it.
I did see that. So that's cool. It was connected to the BNSF. I remember that. Oh, got another PTI car, I think. Nope. Just another rail employee and an Altima. He's going to come flying by us. He slowed down when he saw us. There's a white pickup truck sitting here on the side of the tracks. He slowed down. Oh, the intermodal is moving, Mike. So they got clearance. So I bet you that means. Oh yeah, we have a headlight. I think. Yep, headlight's coming. There'll be a whatever he was waiting on is about to come through. So we're going to zoom in a little bit. We have glowage. There is official glowage. You can see it lighting up. That light is too bright for the street light. There is something coming the other way. Yeah, doubleheader steam on the 27th, guys. Yep, it's going down to Somerville. 19 Crash 84. I think that's the same one that you rode on. Mike and I have ridden on that one before too, but we usually take the Etowah that goes out along the river out to Ducktown to Copper Hill, because it's really pretty in the fall. We normally do the one when the leaves are changing. Our wives love it. We get in the observation car. We have a good time. So we definitely do enjoy those excursions, but typically, especially since the last 3 times we've gotten on that observation car, the air conditioning is broken. The air conditioning is horrible in that car. And actually the last time when we were chasing the doubleheader steam, if you guys remember, in early June, it was hot as blazes. And they were talking on the scanner. They were asking the conductor about the observation car, and they said, "Is the air working?" He said, "Kind of." So that told me everything I needed to know. It is it definitely was a warm day, and I was very glad I was not on the observation car, because I'm not exaggerating. I think it got over 100, and if you could imagine all of those people being hot and sweaty. Yeah, there's the EOT. You can see it blinking. I enjoy seeing that on our rail cam at night because it gets so dark there. When it goes around, all you can see is the EOT, and I enjoy seeing that. It's a double header. Oh, it wasn't double header. It's a 4501. So Mike and I are lucky enough to have ridden with the 630 back in the day. I was actually going through an old photo album the other day, and I saw my picture of the 630. And I was like, oh, hey, I'd forgotten about that. So I have a question, Matthew. I know FRFR is for real, but do you say it as for real when you're reading it? I have so many questions. I have so many questions, fam. No cap, man. You do say it. You read it. And I do know that a blicky is a pistol. I'm not that chuggy. No, back in my day, that is not how gangsters talk. But I understand that, no cap, that's what they say these days. Back in my day, it was the Bloods and the Crips and the West Coast LBC action. It was a much different time. Oh, here we go. Yep, eastbound is coming around the corner. The tracks are lighting up.
Glowage.
We got glowage. Here he is. He just came in range. He's coming around. And he's slowing? Is he slowing? He's actually slowing. Or no, maybe he is just barely accelerating. I guess that is what the westbound was waiting on. Matthew, I'll tell you, there is no way Mike could read that. There is no way he could read, "Hey fam, pull up gang, I'm strapped with my blicky fam, no cap, for real, man. I ain't trying to cause no problems, man, no cap. But I do got my blick." There's no way he could say that.
Mike's not gonna read that.
There's no way Mike could read that.
Mike's out. Mike can barely read it on the monitor at night.
Yeah, Mike would have to put on his bifocals to see what you said. Okay, that one actually reversed. I'll be honest with you, I have no idea what's going on. So I stepped back to the side behind the pickup, and somebody has gotten off of it and is using a flashlight. I guess they're about to throw a switch. That slight little light movement you can see right above the back window of my car here, that is a guy walking with a flashlight. I guess he is throwing a switch. I'm not sure because I didn't think they switched to bypass tracks.
And unfortunately, we would be able to hear him talk while he waited for all this.
Now there's two of them. I have no idea what they're doing. It seriously would not make sense if they weren't on the bypass track, because why else would they be waiting at East 23rd? But it surely does. No, they are using flashlights up and down the side of the...
They also, a lot of them have...
There's a locomotive stopped there. They have helmet lights, and they're walking up and down the side of the locomotive looking at it. I have no idea what they're looking for. But as I walk back and forth, you can just see them walking. That light you see shining right there between the bridge support and that telephone pole, that is them shining their lights on the locomotive. I have no idea what's happening. And it looks like they are looking underneath it. I don't know if it had a problem. I don't know what happened, but I'm gonna wait and see. The dispatcher was asking about if an air bleeder was set. I'm not sure what he just said because he was not holding his microphone near him, but he was answering this dispatcher and saying, it sounded like he said he had to put it in forward first. I'm not sure what they're talking about, but they're still looking at the side of it. They've just fired up the lights on the opposite end of the yard on another one of the switchers. If it starts moving, I will tell you. I'm looking both directions right now. I'm still watching the guys. Now they're walking around behind the locomotive. I have no idea what they're doing. Something is not good. Mike, you've got your binoculars. Can you see what they're doing?
Nope, I'm trying.
Mike said he tried to tell, but all they're doing is just looking around it. They are not under a street light, so it's the only thing we can really see. I didn't even realize there was a locomotive there, to be honest.
Two of them side by side.
Yeah, that is the one that pulled up. If I step around beside the truck, I can see behind the bridge support, that is, he still has his light on. I wasn't sure if that was the same one or not, but it is. It's a single locomotive with the one that came up and had his light on. He stopped, and now they're just walking around and looking at it. So something must have gone wrong with it, and maybe that is why the intermodal had to stop and wait. Maybe it was supposed to have cleared East 23rd and didn't, but they are definitely trying to figure out something on it right now. There's a guy who looks like he's not crawling underneath it, but he's definitely crouched down underneath it right now. definitely did just get underneath it. Something's happened. And there's another guy who appears to be spotting for him. I'm guessing, judging by the radio, it's an air problem since they were talking about the air bleeders, but I would have assumed that would have been on the switcher. But he is this new locomotive that appeared coming in the yard by itself with something not right. I'm gonna go take a slight walk and look.
The eagle eye is going down to the other end to check it out and see if he can tell. I have the binoculars and I can see two of them are all over the bottom part of the train on the car right behind the locomotives, but I can't tell what's up. Casey's looking though. Normally, if there's anything sitting here, they sit them right up there. So normally, when we're here, we got a great view. Listening to the scanner here.
Okay, so I just walked a little closer. It does look like it does have at least one car attached. Now there's a PTI van rolling down to it. They appear to be working on the air. So I don't know if they have a brake dragging or something, but that car you just saw its taillights, that's a PTI van. Mike is monitoring the situation. He is listening very intently to the scanner.
Yeah, if I didn't have to have the scanner all taped up, I would just pick it up and listen.
I have one more question for rail fans who know more. This red light on the side right here, on the fuel tank, it says 2610. I'm assuming that's the number of gallons in the tank, estimated? I don't know. So you can see the bell is right there in the fuel tank, and this thing right here is an LED readout, and it looks like it says 2610. Is that fuel? Yeah, Mike uses binoculars and confirms. There are red lights on the other tanks as well, so while we wait to figure out what's happening with that one, I'm trying to figure out what the other ones say.
Casey won't need the binoculars to see, but I will. He also won't need the paper to write down so he remembers until he gets back here like I will. Like I said, the scanner is going off with all the activity going on in the yard, but since we're so close to these three, it's hard for any of us to hear it. But generally, when we're here, especially in the evening, it's just a beautiful view, and we can hear everything. And when a westbound train comes in and they break it down, you get to see the guys doing all the switching, hear all the communication. This is a super fun spot to film from. And a couple of y'all had asked for a change of venue tonight, so we thought we'd give it a shot down here tonight. A lot of times, this is just incredible amount of motion going on in every direction. Tonight, not as much, but hey, it's fun hanging out with y'all while Casey reads the red numbers. And Here he comes back with a report for y'all. Well, our moon's back out. But here, let's see what Casey came up with.
Okay. The second one says 3,300 and the last one says 3,520. Since they're all idling, if that's a fuel level estimate in gallons, I'm guessing. Or actually, I think they don't run in gallons. They run by weight, I think. Anyway, if that number changes,
That's a good question.
I will tell you. Because they are idling, they're using fuel. So if it changes from 2610, I'll tell you.
We're going to call another rail expert.
Oh man, I can teleport anywhere, just watch.
Our rail expert's not answering.
Mike said his rail expert is not answering.
Because when they go by, watch them, they'll say, 2 more or whatever, and then they come, okay, 3621, that's where they stop and cut it.
So Mike was just saying that one of the conductors typically wear lights on their hat because when they're going down to cut the cars, they walk down and look and see. Hold on, they're saying something on scanner. He said something about 3 more, but I'm not sure exactly what he was referring to.
That means 3 more links for them backing up.
Oh, okay.
3 more car links for.
Mike is translating Norfolk Southern for me. He said it means 3 more links for backing up. So that's them down there. That's not this end where the problem is. It was a different guy talking. We are currently still watching this one as well. We haven't shown you this in a second. So, oh, here comes another PTI van. So this is the one that pulled down. Check on it.
That's the speeding lady.
And I don't see them walking around it now, so I believe she picked them up. They were talking to the dispatcher. I do believe they abandoned that one down at the end.
They've been notified and you dropped the south end of rail. Alright, everybody's notified in too, dropping the south.
Okay, They just said they are dropping the south derail. Everybody has been notified they are dropping the south derail. We hear that right as Life Force takes off right behind Mike. He is going up right there. So Life Force heading out. That's the blinking light that you see in the sky right there. And the blinking lights on the ground are a derail. But he said they just dropped the south derail. So I'm not sure if that means they're about to leave the fuel station. I do see lights at the fueling rack. We have lights at the rack. We may be seeing 4004 pull out. I'm hopeful.
And hopeful.
I don't know how long it takes to get one to fuel. There's a car moving away from it. And then here comes the PTI van back as well. Okay, I believe there are two different vehicles coming down, and I believe one of them is the Tacoma, which may be dropping off the operator again. Or they're returning to the stricken locomotive that is sitting out of commission down at the entrance to the yard. They're now, both trucks are on the road, they're coming this way, so we will find out shortly what's going on. They have passed by the remote train. Nope. That was a shift change from the fuel rack.
They look like they're done working.
They were on a mission to get home. That's what they were doing. But there is still the truck that was beside the fuel rack moving back and forth. He still is. And I believe that one's the Tacoma. You can see it's got the bluish headlights. Oh, you want a double? All right, we'll give you a countdown. So Mike swings his arm, so I'm stepping behind him, in front of him. 3, 2, 1. Yippee! See, we can do it. Look at what good YouTubers we are. Oh, yeah, here he comes. We have action. That one is pulling up beside the broken one, and I believe he is on the bypass track. He just shut off his main light. Oh, I guess, yeah, not to blind, because I guess the stricken one still has somebody working next to it. That is a BNSF.
Whole train.
It is a double locomotive BNSF coal train pulling by. And now here comes the car I was referring to, is coming by the other way. So I believe that one with the bluish headlights may be the Tacoma. Cody said that's 73F. 733, my bad. 733, okay. And no, that is not the Tacoma. That one has fog lights. That's a PTI van again. So that's the one that left the fuel rack. That is that vehicle. And it is just a white PTI van. That was a man driving it. That could be Edward. Edmund. I'm sorry, I've been corrected. Edmund. Could be Edmund, the PTI driver.
Edmund, the PTI driver. Live from the DeButts yard.
What a handy guy to have on the Heritage app, right?
Everybody needs his phone number on speed dial.
Well, I believe this broken locomotive down at the end of the yard may be stopping some of the action. And considering the trucks we've seen going back and forth taking people, I think they're trying to figure out what's going on with it. And I can hear the dispatcher asking questions. But I believe it is actually blocking the yard entrance. And we know it was previously blocking East 23rd because the CSX Intermodal had to stop for it. they got it clear, and as soon as it was clear, they stopped and got out and were looking all around it.
I know when I break down, I just call Allstate. They send out road service. I wonder who you call when your locomotive breaks down. Who comes out?
Well, I would imagine when you're half a mile from the people that work on them, you go get a mechanic. And here comes the car again. This is not the one that I saw before, because that one turned out, the one that was leaving the fuel rack was a PTI. Definitely a lot of cars moving right now. Yeah, scanner's giving a bunch of kisses. I actually have no idea what that is. I know normally, so a lot of times when you hear that in aviation, if you hear click, 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 what they're doing on a train, on an airplane, is they are turning on runway lights. They do that by clicking the radio on the CTAF frequency. So I'm wondering if they're using that to control a switch, if it's a similar process or something else like that. I wonder if that click of modulation is starting an automated device. But if you hear that, there's a locomotive that's passing behind these. We're going to watch it and see what it was. But if you hear that and listening to airplanes on a scanner, they are turning on the runway lights. That sound, that kissing sound, is what you hear from somebody clicking the mic button over and over and over and over to activate the lights. And so if you hear if you're on like 122.7, oh, here we go. Here's the railroad police car, the Durango. Those guys are the inspectors, and he is now going down to where that locomotive's sitting, and there's another one coming in, it looks like. So I don't know why we just saw an inspector's car drive by. That's unusual. Oh, here it is. Okay. So there is one very slowly creeping. This is the one that Mike was pointing out. He is moving right there, but he is barely moving, pulling an auto rack, and the inspector's car is pulled up by the one that's broken down. And now there are guys with flashlights walking around it again, and the Durango is pulled up beside it. And here comes another car. I guess they are trying to figure out what's wrong with it. And for that many people to be down there, I'm guessing it is blocking the entrance. Yeah, there's the maintenance truck. That's the service body.
That's an NS locomotive leaving.
That is an NS locomotive crawling out. So it has an auto rack, then a gondola, 2 hoppers, nope, 2 tankers, a hopper, and then a boxcar, and it is coming to a full stop right next to the broken down locomotive. It has parked beside the broken one. And here comes another truck coming out of the yard heading that direction. So whatever happened, they are taking it seriously, and the inspector is down there next to it right now in his black Durango. We recognize those Durangos because every time Mike gets in trouble, that's what shows up to give him a lecture. Mike just gave me a really dirty look off camera.
I only had
you had 3 visits from him. Oh, here's the Tacoma. So this is the guy that was transporting the autonomous drivers. That is the Tacoma heading out. So they're taking a conductor, an engineer, or something down to go look at it. Yeah, the cops are definitely down there. Why are there railroad cops down there? I have no idea. Mike has picked up the scanner and is listening to it in his ear to try and figure out what's happening. There's a lot of chatter. You see the light that's reflecting right there. That is the light off of the inspector's Durango's headlights. He is facing back this direction, sitting there. I'm going to go ahead and move you to where you can see this. So earthquake is coming. There's not a whole lot to see, except for you'll see the movement of a lot of trucks. And that blob of headlights right there is the Durango. Yeah, I know, Tony. You really can't hear, and it's hard to overstate how loud these things are. I will have no voice tomorrow, but these locomotives here are super loud. We're standing right on top of them. This one here, every time the air stops running, you see the air blast shoot from under the tank there, which for the record still says 2610. There it is. You see that puff? It does that every time the air stops. You can see the airlines purge underneath it. Yeah, it's like a sneeze.
We do have lots of people down there. As you can see, we still have lots of folks down there. Looks like here comes another car, and they're going down there too. Thunderbird.
Now, that is an old Thunderbird. That is a 1993 Thunderbird just went by.
I recognize it.
Yeah. So why did a 93 Thunderbird just go down there? I'm going to guess that's a mechanic. That must be the train mechanic going to save the broken down locomotive that's sitting down there. There's been plenty of action. So you saw the railroad inspector go down in the Durango. You saw the service van leave. You saw the Tacoma that had the conductor on it go back down. Now there's a Thunderbird going down. Then another truck followed it. So they have, I think they have either 4 or 5 cars sitting down there right now, and they are all staring at that locomotive. I don't know what broke, but it broke in such a way they couldn't clear the tracks, and now it's just blocking the DeButts yard.
When all else fails, call in the old Thunderbird.
Yep. So what are you gonna do? Call the Thunderbird.
Look, we may even have another car coming.
Mike has pointed out there seems to be one more coming. We'll tell you if it turns at the split or not.
He's not coming as fast. The other guys were rolling way faster than this guy.
Yeah, they were in a hurry to get down there.
He's hoping by the time he gets there, it's all fixed.
That's a PTI van. I can see it through your tinted windows.
Going to turn.
Yeah.
Well, Casey. Well, Casey. Oh, they're going to do a U-turn.
Well, hello. That's the lady. Hold on a second.
She wanted to stop and say hi to y'all, and then she got stage fright.
Yeah, she did. She actually turned in for a brief moment. Well, we've been watching the action here. I will tell you, I do think that the broken down locomotive is blocking the yard. We've seen, I think now 6 vehicles go down with a variety of people, personnel, and equipment. But there probably won't be anything else happening for a minute because that one is blocking the inbound. So, we got to see a locomotive breakdown from a distance, but not as exciting as we were hoping because it's just past the point where we can go on the property. We can't go past that telephone pole because that is their property from that point forward. So it's a little bit out of range, it's sad, and it's really dark because there's only one street light down there. So that's why they're all using their headlights.
And like I said, normally, if they have something sitting there, except just a tad, this is a fantastic place to come doing railfan. And as we talked earlier, all the east and westbound traffic passes through here. So we're going to give this location another shot. Don't sell it short. But Tuesday, for all intents and purposes, we are back to Dalton. And Thursday, next Thursday, we'll be back here. We also are going to watch the Lackawanna that is coming south out of Ohio. We do have a light moving our way.
Yeah, we do. There's one coming by, and the Tacoma is going behind me right now.
Next to the autonomous one.
Yeah, the autonomous switcher is coming back this way. I wonder if he's going to go retrieve that locomotive. Because the Tacoma's going by, and the Tacoma is who was carrying the engineer who was running it. It is creeping down that way. I'm going to show you this real quick. We were about to sign out, but I'm going to show you this real quick here. Because this is the autonomous one and the yard slug. Move you around here. If he goes down, that would be entertaining. He is just proceeding down. He doesn't have anything attached. That's the 6204. The Zebra. Yep, the operator's on the front, and no, he just stopped it. But he is walking. And I don't know what he's doing. He's walking this direction.
He's getting in the PTI car, I'll bet.
Oh, he's probably getting in the PTI van. Okay. That probably is why. Oh, no, I don't think so, Mike. He would have crossed over already. He's looking at the switch. He's checking the switch position. Yeah, Tony, I think it takes all of them. You see, he's wearing the controls, and he's walking past the 4624 here, so he's walking behind it. But the PTI van is still sitting behind Unit 6 over there. You see the front of it, and that's where he left his locomotive, and that's the other autonomous one. But he walked down that way. Now the bell is dinging, and he's calling his train to him. There it goes, it's taking off. All I want before I die is to own my own remote control locomotive. I don't ask for much.
That'd be so good to run around your yard.
Yeah, I have RC cars, but I've never had an RC locomotive. Welcome back, Cody. It stopped quickly. It stopped so quickly, I actually thought that it froze. But that is the smoke from that guy taking off, and he is going down there. We're going to see if he goes down there. It does look like he's still going. Hey, he paused for a minute. The guy got on it. Now he's moving again. I can see the lights reflecting underneath. You can see him right there under the wheels of the 4144. And then he stopped again. He is parked parallel next to the 4144, and now he's moving again. I haven't. Yep, he's rolling forward. You can see him just having cleared the 4144 there, and he has stopped. And he's reversed. That is not where they normally switch, so he may have just switched tracks, and now he's coming backwards. He's moving too. You can see him coming through. That is not where they normally switch. They normally switch down past the bridge support. See if he moves to another track. Oh, he did. He switched in a different spot than he normally do. So he is right behind the 4624 there. Okay. You saw the hopper cars just move. He just made good contact. We know which driver that is because he shoved about 5 cars worth back. Now he's pulling them. So here goes the switching, guys. I guess he just had a long lunch break. You see the PTI van rolling past, and these are starting to move. There they go. I think somebody's hopping out. They got the door open on the PTI. I'll be honest with you, there's probably mass confusion considering
There he is.
they've got the yard blocked right now with a broken down locomotive. Oh, looks like he forgot to turn a brake off. There he goes. He's on that ancient hopper car we were looking at earlier. Oh, he's spinning the gondola brake. Okay. I guess the gondola brake was set. At least a little bit. He wasn't happy with the amount of shove that he got. I think he's going to fire it up again. Or he's going to get in that PTI car and leave. And he is. There you go. All right, Mike. All right, well, as the PTI rolls away, like I said, we were hopeful there for a minute that maybe he was going to pick up the broken down locomotive, but he did not, and they are still working on it, almost out of sight down there. So I'm sorry that it blocked all the good action coming in the yard. He took his remote control locomotive and put it away. He jammed it straight into that gondola car and got in the van. So, they're talking about setting the derailleur. So anyway, I hate to end on that note, but Mike, I don't think there's going to be much more action for a while because there's nothing that can go out and nothing that can go in with him sitting where he's sitting.
And with that, it's another exciting night. Hey, how much fun is it to have Casey with us? Y'all make sure to tell him, come on.
I will. There's 2 things that I like doing, and that's editing in air conditioning and watching Mike from air conditioning. But it was a pleasant night. It did not rain. We had good weather. Got a good little breeze the whole time. Oh, he is. Mike is 6'3". I don't know what I could give you for scale. But that's the size of a mic. Anyway, guys, glad you all joined us. I'm glad I got to come out. I'm going to go home and eat dinner now.
And remember, you guys got to keep up with where the Lackawanna is tomorrow, because if he comes in the latter part of the day, we'll go someplace and try and catch him live, depending on the timing and the weather.
Yeah, and we're going to, as I pack up here, I'm going to keep an eye on that broken down one. I'll update on the post on the channel if he moves, but right now there's a bunch of guys crawling around it with flashlights, and that's really all you can see. So anyway, guys, thanks for joining us. we'll see you on Sunday morning for coffee at Coffee's Cliff with Mike. And I actually will not be there. I have obligations with the wife, but I'll be watching and typing as much as I possibly can until I get yelled at.
From both of us, thank
Mike
you.
and Casey.
We appreciate you. Don't forget the magic word, subscribe.
That's right. I had to teach Mike that. He always says it now. I'm proud of him. Anyway, guys, thanks from Rail Moments. We'll see you on Sunday.
Good night.
Okay, I'll turn it that way really quick while we're tearing down. We'll leave it on that until we actually shut down. So it is right there. Let me see if I can figure out where my hand is. There's my hand. It is right there, and it is broken. See you, Tony. They were talking about air bleeders on the scanner.
It would make sense for the air because they're all in that general spot.
Yeah, I mean the air bleeder, I would have thought with the air bleeders it would, well no, he does have cars. I was going to say I would have thought it had to do with the brakes locking up in the car. But maybe it is. Maybe the car brakes are locked up and he's not going to drag them like we saw on the W&A that day. I don't know.
It's kind of cool though.
There's a guy, you can see the guy is in between them on the ground.
Gotta be on T-Bird.
Yeah, it probably is T-Bird Man. I'm not sure. I mean, they were just talking about the air system, but you can see the one that was sitting on the siding outbound, he's still sitting there. He stopped just beside him and never left. So I have no idea why they're all just kind of staring at it. Why it takes that many people to stare at it, but it does. Who knows?
Yeah, if these guys weren't here, we'd have really been on here.
I know.
Actually, so cool about this spot is making it steady.
Oh, well, there's the Durango again. No? Yeah? No? Yeah? No? I don't know.
Pick one.
Hey! Got a horn. Somebody's moving.
Somebody's got move indication.
I think that is the Durango. He may have a chat with you.
No, that's the.
Nope. That's a different Tacoma.
Wonder where he snuck in. I'll see if I can get somebody to stop and tell us.
Which horn was that? Could you tell?
Well,
I mean, it came from down there.
could have been him or it could be. If the overpass just lit up, then it's down there.
Oh yeah, okay, you're right. Probably is the bypass track. Yeah. Weird. Oh, got a defect detector. Milepost 3, no defects.
No idea where that is.
No idea for me either. I mean, it said 3, but it was breaking up, so it might have ended in 3.
Yeah, he just turned his light on.
Yeah, so he's rolling out. The auto rack gun. 334.1, no defects. Okay, so that's the east side of the yard coming in off Citico. NS, okay.
Yeah, the outside rails.
Well, he's going to have to stop. He can't really go anywhere. And there he goes. He's rolling out. Sorry. Minor earthquake. Yeah, he's creeping. I guess he's trying not to run over those guys that are working. Yeah, he was talking about 119 cars they had to split, so that's them deeper in the yard.
Yep.
That's not him.
When you close the road, shot of the road.
So if you're wondering why my car looks like it's at a rave, Mike's truck, pardon the
Production unit 6.
yeah, this is number 6. Mike's truck here has these lights on it that are very fancy, and when he turns them on, you can see him from outer space, but it also will light up my car. So the ones on the bumper are orange and white, and he's got strobes in the tail, and you can see them for a long, long, long way. But anyway, I'm gonna go get number 8, roll the house. Good to have you guys. I'm glad everybody got on. I see some of you just joined, and I hate to leave you like this, but we were wrapping up. We just packed up. There is a broken down locomotive. We can't quite see the number, sitting right back there. And everybody in creation, or at least in the DeButts yard, is down there working on it, and it's pretty much got everything blocked. So they're doing some switching down there. They've got 119 car train they're building on that end, but it's in a spot where you can't see from any legal area. And it's pretty much got the track blocked. So appreciate everybody joining us. Mike and I have wrapped up. We've got all the stuff packed. He's ready to roll. I'm ready to roll.
Everything in its place. Every place has its thing.
That's right.
And don't forget, subscribe.
That's right. Mike got you a double this time. Thanks, guys. Anybody who just joined on, catch us on Sunday morning around 8 or 9 a.m. We'll
don't forget, we're going to try and let's follow the Lackawanna tomorrow, you guys. So
Yep.
if it's someplace where we can get to, we'll chase after it tomorrow.
Yep, still watching the Lackawanna. But anyway, Sunday morning, usually about 8:30, Mike, something like that, 8 to 8:30. Mike starts coffee at Coffee's Cliff from the middle of the DeButts yard, and there's always a ton of switching. This is the very west end, and we'll be doing that one. So we'll see you on Sunday morning, and then back on Tuesday in Dalton at the depot for the Diamond. That's your
Bye,
schedule.
y'all.
See you soon. You're clear.